Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Sunday morning, and the Raptors are playing against the Golden State Warriors today. A third game of the road trip that they're on right now. Third game out of six. Golden State today. There was news late last night or late yesterday. I don't know if it's late. It was in the middle of the day that Draymond Green will be returning from suspension for this game today. He was out for 12 games, and the NBA is clearing him, saying, "You've had enough. You can come back now." So yeah, that's an interesting part of this whole thing is that we're going to get Draymond's first game back from the suspension. Also, will be the first game after the injury to Chris Paul. That's right. Let's look at the lineup news real quick. Chris Paul broke his hand on Friday against the Pistons, and he's going to get surgery this week coming up. So yeah, Chris Paul is out. He will not be playing today for the Warriors. Gary Payton II has been diagnosed with a grade 2 strain in his left hamstring. He is out also. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Jonathan Kuminga, in addition to the injury list this morning, his toe is a problem, and he's questionable for today. You know, with all the injuries and the different stuff going on, the Warriors have changed their lineup a bit, just a little bit around. Right now, they're saying that the rookie Brandon Podziemski should be starting for them today in the place of Chris Paul, which I find is interesting. Of course, they run a small lineup with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Kevon Looney as the center. With Draymond coming back, that bumps Kuminga out of the starting lineup, but he's day-to-day today anyway. So, yeah, we're going to see Draymond Green back today. Now, I'm going to say this. You know, Draymond coming back from injury, first game back, this is not necessarily something that's good for them or bad for us. It could be actually very good for us because he hasn't been around for 12 games. It may be that there's some sort of weird chemistry kind of addition coming back stuff. There could be all kinds of different issues with Draymond Green coming back into the lineup. So I think this isn't a bad thing in some ways. He's a distraction. And maybe he'll be a little rusty and he could actually hurt them more than he helps them. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think the matchup of the Raptors versus the Warriors is very good for the Raptors in a lot of ways. We have way more size than them. And I do fully expect that we need to bully them down low. And obviously, the main thing about playing the Warriors is guarding their three-point line. We need to very much keep track of the Splash Brothers. And just in general, guys like Podziemski, just different people that could be a threat to shoot the three. The Warriors team is got Corey Joseph off the bench. Of course, we'll see Corey Joseph today, probably the last guy to wear the 6 in the 6. Since the number's retired, nobody will wear the 6 for Toronto ever again. And, it's always fun to see Corey. Corey, of course, had comments about R.J. Barrett being on Toronto now and saying what it felt like for him as a kid from Pickering playing for the Raptors. What it feels like for RJ. You just can't beat that feeling is what he's saying. Of course, they got Andrew Wiggins also off the bench, our Canadian champion, Andrew Wiggins, Maple Jordan. So we'll get to see him play today. Now, one of the players that we should watch out for today that's important to watch out is Saric. Dario Saric has been a Raptor killer in the past on other teams in the East, and now he's on the Warriors. And he's actually been hot lately. So we need to really watch out for him specifically. That's the thing. This team's just full of shooters. We can stop their outside shooting, beat them down low. You know, when they played the Pistons on Friday, they didn't do that well. They just barely beat them. And that says a lot right there. And the Pistons were beating them down low. They were beating them up around the paint. So I fully expect the Raptors need to do the same thing today against the Warriors, is take that size advantage down low, mouse in the house them. Whoever's getting the smaller defender, since we start 3 forwards and they start 3 guards, we need to go and bully them. I don't care who it is, RJ, Scotty, Pascal, Jakob. Let's bully the hell out of the Warriors today. That's a key to a victory right there. Our lineup news is this. Koloko is still out, of course. Otto Porter Jr. is out for today's game already. It's his knee. Maybe he doesn't want to play his former team that he won a championship with also. I don't know. And Gary Trent Jr., he's day-to-day. His quadricep is still an issue. Quad bruise is really what it is. And they asked Darko at the practice interview yesterday if Gary would be ready today, and he was not sure. They're going to run him through stuff during the day today, and he'll be a game time decision. So it would be nice if we got Gary Trent Jr. back for the game tonight. He would be a great reinforcement of firepower on the outside for sure. All right, let's do the next part. Of course, the ref report, undefeated as always. Ref report, always one of the most vital things you can find out about what's going on with the game. And our crew chief today is going to be Zach Zarba, guys. We haven't really had Zach Zarba this year yet. He's in his 22nd season out of Brooklyn, New York. His favorite TV show is The Wire. He likes The Godfather as a movie. His favorite meal is shrimp or ganata. His favorite app is Twitter. He most like to visit Italy, and his hidden talent, he's a good cook. Yeah, Zach Zarba. He got a bachelor's degree in political science. There you go, Zach Zarba. Zach Zarba. Zach Zarba. Yeah, all the refs today favor the Warriors. Wait, do all of them? Wait, well, Sean Corbin doesn't look like he does exactly. Hang on. But yeah, all the refs basically favor the Warriors. We won the last time Zach Zarba refed us. We win 51% of our games when Zach's around, which is a good winning percentage for his time in the league. And the Warriors win 58%. So the split with him is 51 to 58 for the Warriors. All right, let me see. I want to recheck the second one because I think I got it wrong. Maybe I got it right. 562, 524. Yeah, I got it right. Never mind. I'm kind of being a dummy. I'm kind of not totally with it right now. Just so you know, Sean Corbin is in his 30th season out of for reffing the NBA out of Baltimore, Maryland, and his favorite TV show is CSI Miami. His favorite movies are the Godfather movies. It's interesting. Both the refs like the Godfather. Favorite musician Brian Culbertson. His favorite book is Quiet Strength. His favorite meal is steak and lobster. His favorite app is the News app. His bucket list is to drive cross country in an RV, and he has also got a hidden talent of cooking. So this has got two cooks that love The Godfather. It's like Zach Zarba and Sean Corbin have a lot in common, it seems like. Sean Corbin has refereed at the Olympics. He refereed at the 2004 Athens Olympics. He was one of the refs there. Now, I was confused about his record, but no, he favors the Warriors also. We won the last game that Sean refed. He is our best ref today statistically. 52% winning percentage under Sean Corbin, and the Warriors have a 56% winning percentage. So it's very similar to Zach Zarba, 52 to 56 for the Warriors with Sean Corbin. The third ref is the golfer Matt Boland in his 22nd season out of Connecticut. His favorite TV show is Seinfeld. His favorite movie is Tin Cup. His favorite musician is Tom Petty. His favorite meal is pizza. His favorite app is Dark Sky. Is he on the dark web? Is that what that is, Dark Sky? I don't know. Most like to visit Scotland, and he'd like to play golf at Augusta National. Yeah, well, you're a PGA golfer. Why wouldn't you have played at Augusta National? Matt Boland. That's weird, man. He's also a National Guard with Connecticut, and he was commissioned second lieutenant in 1990 before being promoted to first lieutenant in 1992. Yeah, Matt Boland, we've had him quite a few times this year already. We won the last game. So we won a game, and all these refs, the last time we had them, we won. 48% winning percentage for the Raptors franchise all time with him. And the Warriors are 54%. So 48-54 is the split for Matt Boland. This is slight increases on all of them. All three refs favor the Warriors today. Just so y'all know, all three refs favor the Warriors. So there you go. There's your ref report. I'm going to say this. Zach Zarba can be a very fair ref, but he can also be a manipulative ref. He can be the kind of ref that will do NBA storylines for them. So we'll have to see. I don't think there's any NBA storyline that they want to have happen right now. In some ways, I've said this before on this channel. The Warriors are like the Western Raptors. In some ways, their franchise has been treated very badly in some ways also, just like us. Like seriously. In some ways, the NBA found out in the 2010s that the dynasty of the Warriors was boring and that people did not like seeing the Warriors just win championships year after year. It was really actually hurting business. And so in some ways, Adam Silver started handicapping them and messing them up just like they do us. And there's a reason why the Warriors in some ways have had dysfunction and problems since the last couple years. Now they did win that championship a couple years ago, and that was amazing. But in a lot of ways, their team has mirrored ours. They have similar kind of bad records. They've had really like missed the playoffs just like we did one year. So the Warriors are, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Now, if you're going to get down to it, they are a much more favored team in the eyes of the NBA than we are, obviously, because they have way more championships and stuff. But in some ways, there's similarities to the Warriors franchise path in the last few years to the Raptors franchise path. They were really good, winning championships, and then kind of decline and losing seasons, not too far from championship seasons. That's a similar path. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat this morning. See who's here. Sorry I started late. I'm a little off. I was not very, I don't know. I just had a really busy kind of like, I was playing video games and I got out of my head and I stayed up late and now I'm getting up late. This is just the truth. All right, let's see. Trevor's here first. Good morning, Raptors family. Blessings for a marvelous Sunday and an awesome next week. There you go, Trevor J. I like to see you in here, Commissioner. And yeah, blessings for a marvelous Sunday and an awesome week. Travel safe going to LA. Trevor, I hope you have a very successful trip to Los Angeles. And you'll be there for the 2 games against the LA teams Tuesday and Wednesday. Thank you for going, Trevor. Thank you for going. Let's go Raptors win tonight. I like that, Trevor. 905, get out and hustle and got out hustled and beaten by a 7-man rotation team. Now that is good grounds for the coach to go now. All right, Trevor brought it up. I wasn't going to bring up this eyesore. But I was going to wait until one of y'all wanted to bring it up. Yeah, the 905 embarrassing themselves yesterday. Really sad, honestly. I was really hoping this new regular season change would get something out of them, but they're now 1-4. They won their first regular season game, and then they've dropped 3 straight since. They dropped 2 in a row to College Park, who's now 4-1 themselves. And it is true. Trevor J., what he said is true. The College Park Skyhawks had players leaving the game from injury. And then one guy got in trouble for being too personal with Grady Dick, kind of throwing him around, doing a couple of dirty stuff. And they threw this Kissonial guy out, and he was a real problem. I was like, man, this dude ain't going to make the league acting like this, acting all out of pocket. They couldn't even get him to leave the court for a little bit there. And, well, it got to the point where the Skyhawks had like 7 guys to play. They had nobody, and they were really playing the same guys for the whole last part of the game. And, well, we were winning the whole game for the most part. We had a good lead for early, and then we had a little lead for the second half. And then in the fourth quarter, they overtook us and won the game at the end of the game. It was a real choke. It was a choke, a 905 choke last night. Really was a choke. And Trevor's exactly right. I mean, this is indicative of the coach. This is really indicative of the coach. I don't give a crap whether you don't have any bigs and you don't have any defensive players. You got to figure out a way to stop a team like that. Now, Skyhawks do have some very talented players. Silva in particular is very dangerous and a problem. They have McGowan's killing us, Yeah, but still, there's no excuse for this. This is absolute garbage, and I can't believe y'all really embarrassing us at this point. And Eric Curry, man, what the hell, bro? I wish we had fired you or you weren't our coach this year. It's just been a waste. And I'm just sad about how bad it is. Like Grady got to play a bit, though, and he didn't play that horrible. But my first star of the game is Justice Winslow. Justice Winslow is a man among children in the G League. Let's just put it that way. 30 minutes, 17 points, 7 of 13 shooting. He made a 3. He hit his only free throw, 10 rebounds, including 5 offensive ones, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He did foul out also. Yeah, Justice was playing a man in a little boys game. And I love the stat stuffing with the all the steals and blocks and everything there. Yeah, Justice is my number 1 star of the game. But yeah, it's pretty pathetic. The second star of the game, I begrudgingly give it to Javon Freeman Liberty. I'm not really impressed with this guy. He did have our best plus minus on the team, though, which is a sign that he was playing winning basketball. But he did have 5 turnovers. He did shoot 7 of 20. But he got 13 rebounds and 22 points. And I like that. The 13 rebounds showed that he was working. So I'm going to give it to him based on the rebound total. 6 assists also in there and 1 block. But 6 assists to 5 turnover ratio, that's horrible, Javon. And in some ways, it's like you're not really a star in a normal game. It's just I got to give them to some people. And you were kind of impressive. The third star of the game for me was Kevin O'Banner. Starting once again, Kevin O'Banner shot 50%, 6 of 12, 3 of 6 from three, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 18 points, a +5. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just that kind of game. I don't know why. I mean, I get it. Maker McCurr was not there playing. Muhammadu is not there playing. Jonte is with the big club. You guys have no bigs. You're really kind of playing forwards and guards, and that's it. But really, seriously, y'all can't guard at all. And how do you let a team that had less and less players as the game goes on score their most points in the fourth quarter? Like, seriously, it should have been easier to guard them by the end of the game when they had been tired out because they had no subs, and y'all let them score 29 points in the last quarter. That's messed up. That is messed up. Grady watch, just real quick. This is what Grady did: 32 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 16. Not the best shooting. 2 of 10 from three. Yeah, man, he's got to figure it out. He's got to get his shot locked in because honestly, if it doesn't translate to the bright lights and the big stage of the big NBA, then you can't shoot, bro. That's just what it is, man. Some guys can shoot real well at different levels, but when you get to those bright lights and that high pressure, you got to be able to shoot then too. And that's something he's going to have to work on and get it right because his shot is not right yet. It is not right yet. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, a +7. So at least he was on the winning side of the game yesterday. Out there, they won +7. Other notables from the game, I mean, let's see, Marquise Noel, 5 of 10 from the field, 50%, 5 of 9 from three. So he only took one shot that wasn't a three. That's not horrible. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 5 fouls, 15 points in 37 minutes. Not too bad from Noel. I could have made him one of the stars. The bench really hold not a lot of anything. Drake Jeffries with a couple of threes. And then Morcell, Simmons, and Burns just kind of like really. Kobe Simmons has fallen off dramatically in the last couple games for the Raptors 905. Just pathetic. Just pathetic. Eric Curry, man, I don't understand. If you weren't friends with Luke Wynn, if you weren't like a golden boy in Masai Ujiri's eyes, if you weren't some sort of put in last year with a stupid logic to make you even the 905 coach for 2 years, man, that would have been so great. In some ways, you are blocking our development from happening in certain ways because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I'm sick of it. I wish you all would hire a G League coach that actually knows what they're doing because I don't have any confidence in this one. And I feel like as much as I feel confident in Darko to keep our guys playing at a top level, even if they're down by 20 and they can make up a lead of the Sacramento Kings on a Friday night, I have no confidence in Eric Curry that he knows how to manage a game to win it in any kind of way. Monique slandering him in the comments in the live chat last night, and rightfully so. Rightfully so, Monique. Everything you're saying this year is exactly right. And last night was very strong evidence of that. So just depressing is what I'll say. Just depressing what's going on with 905. I wish better things were happening there. All right, Canadian Dana's in the house. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's get this win. Let's go. That's right. It's the Warriors. It's the Golden State Warriors. It's time to go beat them tonight. I have good feelings about our team. I think we'll do better against them than the Kings. We've got our new look. It'll be really fun. In some ways, Darko talking in the practice interview yesterday about Steph Curry, saying that he's somebody that he's very much admired and watched for many years. In fact, he was around him when he was a kid, and he did not realize what kind of career he was going to have, like what it was going to blossom into, this Hall of Fame game-changing career that Steph Curry has become. But he said he hates him also when he's a coach and he has to go up against him and scheme to try and guard him. So, yeah, Darko's got a love-hate relationship with Steph Curry. And, well, let's see how he handles them tonight. His first time as a coach, a head coach, having to get ready for Steph. That's right. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Monique is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Stay focused. That's right. I'm trying to stay focused. The Raptors need to stay focused for sure. I'm with you. And she's saying the Warriors are up and down team. Attack first and go Raptors. Yeah, they're not totally a winning team. No, they're not. I don't think they have a winning record right now. And that once again, I said it. They're in a similar place in the standings on the Western side that we are on our side. In fact, last year was very mirrored also. They were very mid, right in the middle record, just like us. So yeah, there's been a lot of shadowing and mirroring each other on the two conferences of the Raptors and the Warriors and their ups and downs. MSJ's here. Good to see Chris. It seems we have a possible win here. I really hope the Raptors grab it. Like the Kings, they have to play D from the tip off. Please play hard defense, Raptors. This would be a very key is like, yeah, if they had played a little bit better defense in the first half against the Kings on Friday night, maybe the results would have been different. So maybe this is the next chance. And going against a team that is similar in some ways, I don't think they're totally similar, though. I think the Kings are a much better team than the Warriors in some ways. The only reason why the Warriors are so good is because of the experience of those vets and the savvy wiliness of them. But otherwise, I mean, I don't think they're more talented than the Kings. And I don't think that as overall they're playing as well as the Kings this year. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a different test, but similar in some ways. Two California teams that like to shoot the three. And that's what you got. That's what you got. Yeah. Kevin's here. Good to see Kevin Thompson. Should be a good game today. Can't wait. It's 8:30 tip, y'all. It's not totally late. They're tipping off at 8:30, which is 5:30 their time in Pacific. So yeah, it's not a totally stay up till like after midnight kind of game. It'll be from 8:30 to 10:30 tonight on a Sunday night. So you get a little bit of evening hoops. Sunday night hoops. That's right. Raptors and Warriors. Yeah. Monique saying Ryan Schmidt continues to crush Eric Curry, 7 players and still win. Yeah, Ryan Schmidt is looking like the guy that should be our 905 coach. But no, he's the coach of the Atlanta G League. Landry Fields, getting that man down there and putting him on the Atlanta G League. Former Raptor Landry Fields running things in Atlanta. This is an oversight. We should have kept Schmidt, the guy in the suit, instead of this guy. Man, at one point, Eric did get mad at the refs, and it looked like he was going to go a little nuclear, but no. It was kind of like a half-ass thing. He was like, yeah, I don't like what you're saying, and I'm listening, and I'm kind of looking frustrated, but I'm not really going off on you. I was like, get thrown out, Eric. Just get thrown out. Show me that you care. Just get thrown out, man. You're really mad about that call. Throw your ass out. Say something out of pocket to that ref and get your ass thrown out. Seriously, I'm all about it. Jill's here. Good to see Jill. Good morning, everyone. Jill, I'm not even totally sure what was going on last night in the chat with you and Paul or any of this Brad Faye stuff. I just want to say I was so busy last night and not really paying attention that I don't know all the inner details of that whole situation. Whatever it is what it is. You contacted Brad Faye on Sportsnet about him talking about Pascal Siakam getting traded or not trade stuff on the broadcast. And he actually responded to you defending himself, saying that, this was news and it was newsworthy of my journalism kind of thing. I need to go ahead and report it. It's very interesting that you did that. And then Paul B got on there and he said he didn't have to do that. I worked at a TV station and I know that people don't have to do that. It was very interesting discourse. If not, I was just a little confused about what was going on. No hard feelings and no, I'm not upset about anything. I did say, though, that I don't really want to get into some sort of weird feud with Brad Faye of Sportsnet. I mean, he's just not worth it, honestly. He's just not worth it. But I love you, Jill, and good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Jillian Moody. Always good to see you. Let's see. Nako's saying there's a few teams that barely beat the Pistons. Hesitant to call them good team, but I don't think you should 100% expect to beat them. I know, Gerald, you can warn me. Listen, I know the rules of the NBA. Don't take anyone lightly. I'm just saying. If it's a litmus test, the Pistons have been playing hard. I get it. But, the Pistons dominated them down low. That's the stuff I'm looking at, Gerald. When I look at that box score, I'm looking at points in the paint. I'm looking at rebounds. The interesting stat for the Raptors in success right now is rebounds. The games that they win, they out-rebound the other team. The games that they lose, they don't. So I think that they need to look at that stat and really work on getting the rebound battle won. Because usually the games that they're winning the rebounds, they've won. And the games that they have not, they've lost. It's very cut and dry. It's very strange, actually. Chev, a couple of years ago, I remember Chev used to always say, if the Raptors get a certain amount of rebounds, they're going to win. Well, I think we need to go to Chev's let's get back to this many rebounds and then we'll win. I think he used to say 45 or something. It was either 45 or 50. So Raptors, if you can go get that amount of rebounds that Chev used to say y'all need to get, we could probably win this game today. It's about winning the board battle. Beat Draymond and Looney. Beat those guys off the boards, and we should win tonight. Jakob, Pascal, Scotty, y'all get in there and beat the big boys and get all the boards, and we'll win. In some ways, look, Demotis beat us at the boards on Friday night, and that's why they won. The Kings won partly because they won the board battle. And well, we need to win the board battle tonight. That's right. That is right. Jill saying, Lex, might you have an index somewhere, please, so that when I show up on your Facebook, I'll know who I'm dealing with. Otherwise, I feel I cannot know if you feel someone I'm dealing with is. Well, I'll just say this, Jill. In our Facebook chat with our Raptor Freak group, everybody in there is cool. They're like, there's only 25 of us, first of all. And every single person in there is either a very member like you that's very like dedicated and has been showing up for a while. Most of the people in the chat have been watching me for 2 years. Some of them are people like Adriana. Some of them are people like Paul B. Paul B does like video work for me. He's done a lot of the clip stuff that, in fact, he clipped out my rant yesterday for me. And, he thank you, Paul, by the way. There's just different people that do kind of like behind the scenes stuff to help me that are in that chat, like Tom Duke, Paul B, Trevor, Naco the Nacho is somebody I know in real life that comes and like hangs out with me. And we've been friends for almost, like 7 years now, Naco and I. So it's just, I would just say this, every single person in there is not a weirdo or anything like they're not just random people. They're all people that are very ensconced and important to this channel. And, they're some of them are quirky. Yes, but they're not randos. Let's just put it that way. And if you're dealing with anybody in there, just assume that they're high quality Raptor freaks that are people that have been a good part of contributing to this channel. A lot of the people that are in the group are the people that have been buying memberships and spend money on my channel. So they're definitely people that are like into the channel and are people that really value the Raptor Freak stuff. So just in general, that's kind of what it is. There's only 25 of us in there. There's not a whole lot of us in there. So it's not anything weird. Yeah, they're all vital to the channel. You guys are all vital to the channel. You really, really are. You're awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jill. You've been a great addition, honestly. I mean, listen, we all have our different personalities and quirks, but that's the one thing I like to do on this channel is to try and accept people for who they are. I don't want you to change. I don't want anybody to be different. If we don't fit, we don't vibe, and we don't mesh, well, everybody has their own choices. But otherwise, I really want to be very unconditionally loving all y'all and just saying, look, y'all are awesome. You have the same passion as me, and you're my birds of a feather. And that's just how I look at it. Y'all, I want everybody to be who they are, and that's all I care about. That's it. Snoopy's here. All right, this is interesting. You never talked on the cartoon. Why are you talking to me on my stream? I never heard you talk. All I hear you do a little raspberry laugh sometimes. That's all I ever heard you do. You have some sort of telekinetic language that you speak to that little yellow bird with, Woodstock? I don't understand you, Snoopy. Let's see what he's saying. Nick Nurse would have been better for the Raps. Well, he was on the Raps. He was great for the Raps. We won a championship with him. And he may never win another championship ever again. I don't know, Snoopy. First of all, you're a Beagle and you're owned by Charlie Brown. What the fuck do you know about basketball? You know about flying dog houses. You don't know about basketball, bro. You don't even know why Nick Nurse isn't the coach of the Raptors anymore? I mean, I've told this story many times in the last 6 months. I could tell it again if you really want to know. He knows Rich Paul, and he works for Clutch. And they sabotaged his Raptors career, and they put Masai Ujiri in a bad place, and they called his bluff. They said, Masai, how big are your balls? Do you have the balls to fire Nick Nurse? And Masai said, yeah, I do. And you're fired, bitch, and you're out the door. So that's what happened, Snoopy. That's what happened. That motherfucker had to leave because he sabotaged our season last year. He did it all planned with Daryl Morey and Rich Paul so he could leave and go coach the Philadelphia 76ers. So Snoopy, get the fuck in your doghouse and go listen to Charlie Brown. Good grief. How about that? Yeah. MSJ saying it's not going to be an easy win. All right. I know that. It's not going to be easy win. I know that. I'm just saying we could beat them. I feel good about it. The Steph Curry effect is strong, but if we can hold him to low shooting percentage, I think we win. But the Warriors are hunting a win bad. Hard to win there as well. I'm going to tell you right now, the X factor of Draymond showing back up is going to be a factor in this tonight. I don't think it's going to be a positive factor for them. There's always an integration problem when players come back and they're a little cold and they haven't been back in a while. And some people will say, well, he's going to be raring to go. That's not usually the case. In fact, I remember a game in the recent years where the Raptors played the Warriors and Draymond just showed back up for the first time back and we beat them. So I'm not scared of this. In some ways, yeah, y'all are right. We should be very much not taking them lightly. And Darko is not. Trust me. The way he was talking in practice interview yesterday, they're not taking the Warriors lightly. And they will be taking Steph Curry very seriously. I'm just saying our chances to beat the Warriors are better than the chances we had against the Kings. I'm just saying. That's all I'm trying to say. Snoopy's saying quickly and Barrett would suit Nurse's playing style. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. You fucking casual Snoopy. Just fucking stay on peanuts, bro. I'm gonna talk to you like a grown up on that channel. Listen. Darko Rajakovic is an offensive coach. Nick Nurse is a defensive coach. Darko Rajakovic, those are two really good offensive players. We are just scratching the surface of what we can do with our newly acquired New York Knicks guys. And there's so much that is to be found. I'm telling you, the permutations and different combinations between Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and these guys, well, I'll tell you, I'd much rather have Darko Rajakovic coaching this situation than Nick Nurse, Mr. Isolation. Mr. Isolation, give it to Pascal and just let him work it on the side. He'll get in there and do a spin. Nobody else will touch the ball. Fred, keep chucking it. Man, Snoopy, I'm telling you, man, go hang out with Woodstock. Go find Peppermint Patty. Go hang out with Pigpen. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. You're saying Nick Nurse would be better for this team. You're an idiot. Those are offensive players. We want offensive coach to coach them, and that's Darko. Nick plays isolation. He's isolation this, isolation that. That's no good. That's no good. Jill saying, Adnako, I feel we shouldn't take away any win for granted. The fact that we're mostly beaten, the Kings did not fare us well Friday. Yeah, we shouldn't take anybody for granted. I'm not. You guys got to understand. I'm not saying this is going to be easy game. I'm just saying that we should have a better chance to beat the Warriors today than we did against the Kings. And we had a really good chance of beating the Kings last night. In fact, if we had our guys together for a little longer, I bet you we would have beat them. If we're like 2 weeks into having RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, I bet you we might have. Seriously, even with all their great shooting. But I don't know. In some ways, the Kings are a more complete team than the Warriors, is maybe what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Wayne's saying, I trust people who like the Godfather movies, best series ever made. We do our thing. We are good. Anticipating an entertaining matchup on a Sunday night. There you go, Wayne Strainer. Always good to see Wayne Strainer. So you trust people that like the Godfather. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. You know, Zach Zarba, yeah, Sean Corbin, those guys are Godfather fans. Let's see if they're on the up and up. Yeah, we'll have to see. You know, no, does Luca Brasi sleep with the fishes? We'll have to find out. That's right. Nako's saying, what game, Lex? What game? What I was playing? Man, I'm a nerd, bro. I'm playing old ass Civilization 2. That's ridiculous, isn't it? I played that game in the 90s. I don't know. I found it on an emulator. I'm just like, oh, I remember this game. I'm going to play Civilization 2. I'm the Aztecs, and I'm going to make my civilization grow into being whatever. Yeah, Civilization 2. Jill saying late. I thought 9:30 was the norm. Wish I could see Steph Curry for sure. I'm normally on at 9:15. But I had to do a couple things like take a shower and a couple other things this morning. I did them real quick and ran in here to get the show on 3 minutes before 9:30 because I have this belief, OCD, that if I don't start the stream ahead of time, the 9:30, that the Raptors won't get to the spots quick enough ahead of the Warriors in the game. So it's really stupid. It's really stupid. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's my OCD. Let's just put it that way. All right, let's see. Space Cadet's here. Good to see Space Cadet. The news about Pascal from Leeuwenburg is bad, man. Very bad. Look, ignoring him like that. What is this news about Pascal from Leeuwenburg? I did not go on Twitter yet this morning. Let me go look at Josh Leeuwenburg and see what this punk ass is saying right now. Josh, I like you, Josh. We did a Share the Love Club for you, man. What is he saying? What is this news? League sources are expecting the next month to bring clarity in regards to Pascal Siakam's murky future with the Raptors, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's destined to be traded. Don't rule out the possibility of an extension, as awkward as it may be. I don't think it's awkward. Why would that be awkward? All right. That is that the news you're talking about, Space Cadet? Listen, I love it. He's saying that there's a good chance that he may get extended and stay in Toronto. Well, what's wrong with that? I love it. I love that so much. Actually, I really do want that. The news about Siakam from Lewenberg is bad, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad. I just read that. Maybe there's more I didn't see. Blackhawks saying, "Oh my God, Nick Nurse talk won't stop. He's not as great as projected. Sixers lost 2 in a row. Nick Nurse has flaws which justify him not coaching the Raptors." Yeah, Neil, I'm with you. I don't know why Snoopy's in here tooting his horn like this. Snoopy, you're a beagle. You don't talk. Why are you in here talking? You shouldn't be in here talking. Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row. They lost to the Knicks badly on Friday night. Thank God. That was awesome. And there's going to be something that happens with them at some point by the end of the season. It is the Sixers. Let's just put it that way. Sixers fans going to feel good for most of the season. And we know, Knicks fans know this too, that they know the career arc of a season where they could be like, oh, riding high. Everything's looking good. I feel good about our championship chances. And then some bullshit happens and the season just goes to south real quick. Yeah, that could happen to a team like the Celtics or the Sixers real easy and real quick in some certain ways. I'm just saying. But yeah, Nick Nurse, hey, he's a Raptors championship coach. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know about anything else after that. But yeah, he's a championship coach with the Toronto Raptors. That's what I would say right there. Jill saying, Space Kid, how does Lewenberg personally know this? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the news is. Y'all write it in. Baby me. Act like I'm 3 years old. And I don't know what you mean. Kevin's saying, why can't we get Justice Winslow on the main team? He's too good for the G League. I don't know. Like Kevin, in some ways, he's undersized for the NBA. He's in that weird little kind of like in between area where he's really a power forward, but he's small forward size. And in some ways, he doesn't have the height for the new NBA. In some ways, the players like him are just not good for the NBA because you need height in this league. You need to be like 6'10", and he's not. He's like more like 6'5". So it's like the classic Barkley power forwards that were little guys that could play bigger than themselves. It's just over. And that's part of it. And then you couple in the fact that he screwed around with his career and didn't take it seriously. Well, he's clinging to his career right now. And that's why. That's why he's going in there. Now, the stuff he's doing in G League, he can do in the G League, but he won't be able to do it in the NBA. Every single bowling move that he does into the lane where he just forces shots up, he just runs right in the lane. Nobody can stop him. Now, RJ does it, but he's a hybrid where he's slick, he's quick, and he uses a little bit of contact and strength. But Winslow's just using strength. And if he did that in the NBA, he'd get a lot of offensive fouls, and I don't know if he'd be as successful finishing. Once again, he's short. And he could do that in the G League, push some short guys off too, and put the ball in. But the taller guys, people like Sabonis, people like, Embiid, people like that, he won't be able to go up against and be effective. So his limits are limited in certain ways on the big league. And some of the stuff he does in the G League just won't translate. Does that make sense, Kevin? Jill's saying, Blackhawk, no Embiid, no win. That's right. Well, I don't know. I mean, they didn't have an Embiid, on Friday. I don't know. In some ways, we knew this was going to happen. We predicted this. This is part of what we were saying. Nick Nurse going to run Joel Embiid to the ground. And he's going to get hurt at some point. He's going to be missing. And there's going to be a problem. Well, we were right. Prediction correct. And in some ways, they are not totally a good team without Joel Embiid. They need him. They need him to be dominant out there. Let's see. Space Kid is saying, Jill, it came from Pascal's camp. Why would they lie about that? What is it? I don't know what it is. What is this, y'all? Tell me. Write it in there. Please tell me so that I know what y'all are saying because I don't know what it is exactly. What is it? Just tell me what it is. All right. Let's see. Monica's saying, hey, Lex, do you feel Justice gets into his head at times or is it just me? Justice? I don't know. How do you mean in his head? Like he's overthinking things? No, I think he's just very determined. I mean, he's the kind of guy that's like Dylan Brooks. He'll stare at the other team and intimidate them. He's the kind of guy that will kind of like be like kind of an intimidator on the court. He's very much like Oakley and Mason from the Knicks from before. He's got this big body and strength, and he scares people. And the crazy thing was last night, there was a lot of extracurriculars. There was a lot of like extra pushing and shoving. There's a couple of clowns on the Skyhawks that are annoying. That Kasulu guy or whatever, Kasulu, whatever. That guy's a punk. He was personally hitting Grady Dick around a lot, like like not cool, like forearms and like after the play hitting him. And even that Silva guy, he's got a fire to him. He played in FIBA. I recognized him from FIBA, and he's very talented, big, but he's got an edge to him also. Now, you put Justice Winslow in a game with those guys, there's going to be some intimidation, attitude kind of stuff going on. Very interesting. Blackhawks saying, even with Embiid, no win, the crack in the bells are forming. There you go. There you go. That's right. You go, Knicks Raptors alliance. It's getting stronger every day. Listen, if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, there'd be a Knicks Raptors alliance at this point in the season, I would have said, you're crazy. James Dolan is suing us. We're mad at the Knicks. Azotam. What is this bullshit? Azotam. Who the fuck is Azotam? Why the fuck did you do that, Azotam? It's like James Dolan's patsy. He's like, Azotam, you're going to go over there. You're going to give him the goods, and then I'm going to get them. Okay, sir. Okay. I feel like that was a setup, the Azotam thing. Was it like, well, we have animosity. The NBA teams suing each other. Well, we make a trade, and you know what? It doesn't matter. We're still buddies with New York Knicks Nation because they love RJ and Quick, and we love OG. And we found a new friendship. It's like Survivor. And we decided, this tribal council, we're banding together in an alliance. And we're going to take down the Sixers and the Celtics. It's like Survivor. We have a Survivor alliance with Knicks Nation now. And I'm all about it. Seriously, I'm all about it. The history between the Knicks and the Raptors is glorious. We have a lot of shared heroes like Charles Oakley and Muggsy Bogues. Well, no, Muggsy wasn't on the Knicks, was he? Chris Childs, Mark Jackson, Marcus Camby. There's a whole list that we put out there before. I like it. And hey, having Knicks fans interested in my channel, they like my channel. They're saying, hey, look, man, you're good content. You're doing good stuff there. Keep going. I'm like, all right, cool. Listen, people in New York know basketball. If there's anywhere in the world that people know basketball and really know it, it's New York City. So, hey, any seal of approval from anybody in New York about my basketball and talking about it, thank you. I appreciate it. That's very kind. But yeah, this alliance between the Raptors fans and the Knicks fans right now is kind of cool. It's kind of unexpected. And in some ways, you think about it, we have a lot of the same enemies. So it makes sense. They hate the Sixers and the Celtics just like we do. They really do. They hate them even more than we do because they have many, many years of history battling those teams in very important finals and different things and playoff series. So yeah, Knicks versus Sixers, Knicks versus Celtics, those are a big deal. And then they also have the same enemy as us, James Dolan. Yeah, the Knicks fans hate James Dolan himself. So in some ways, they can get behind me shading James Dolan and getting at him for the lawsuit and all this other bullshit and just him being an asshole to Charles Oakley and season ticket holders. Yeah, we have the same enemies: the Sixers, the Celtics, and their owner. We have the same enemies as Knicks fans, and it's cool. I love this new alliance. Let's get the votes right at the next tribal council and get the right people out. That's right. It's an alliance. That's right. We got an alliance with the Knicks. It's weird, man. At this point, it is weird, but I'm all about it. All right, let's keep going. You shouldn't be losing to the Jazz if you're the Sixers. No, listen, that kind of smacks of the game that we had against the Jazz when they came into Toronto before Christmas and they beat us. They stole the game from us. We were up by a good margin and they came back and beat us. That's the thing. The Jazz are a dangerous team on the road. Apparently, they came into Toronto and stole one from us right before Christmas. Well, they went to Philly and did the same thing last night. That's the thing. The Jazz are underestimated and they come and they beat some people up. Yeah, they're dangerous. They're a very dangerous team. Jordan Clarkson, Laurie Markkinen, Colin Sexton, and Kessler and all them. Yeah, dangerous. Yeah. All right, let's see. Jillian saying, why would Pascal's camp put that out there? How good point. How does the Sixers lose to the Jazz? Well, I kind of just talked about it. Yeah, I want to know what did Pascal's camp say, y'all? Y'all need to spell it out to me and just tell me, and I'll give you my real reaction in live time, and I'll even tell you my take on it. Chris is saying Grady needs to shoot way better. Seems it is a mental block, and he is not seeing the basket, just launching them. The stress hormones in his brain is having him see flat. He's not keyed in. Yeah, I'm wondering about this. I wonder because I see other rookies, other guys that came in from the draft, and they're ready to go. They're prepackaged and ready to go. You can hot and fresh. Go to Little Caesars and get your hot and fresh pizza or pizza, whatever. Yeah, why is Grady taking? He can't go right away. What is going on? Is he going to take more time to get to where he's supposed to go? I don't know. I worry about this. I hate being right sometimes. I said he wasn't NBA ready, and I was right. Damn it. Why do I have to be right? Why don't y'all listen to me, Messiah and Bobby? I said this before the draft. Grady is not a good pick, and I hate it. I hate it. I said he's not NBA ready. I knew it right away. And man, I hate being right. I said he's too slow and he's not going to translate to the NBA. And right now it's seeming like that right now. I mean, he can change. He can get better. He's got to get stronger, obviously. He's got to get his shot keyed in on. But man, I hate being right sometimes. And one of the things I said before the draft is don't draft Grady Dick. He's not ready for the NBA. And listen, I want to be wrong about this eventually, Messiah and Bobby. But I'm worried. I'm very, very worried. And people keep saying, well, look at Keontae George. Look at Jordan Hawkins. Look at whatchamacallit, that Vasquez of Miami Heat. Nako's saying big ups, Gil. Be worried about Grady, but remember, he's only 20. Still makes pretty smart plays. Kings are more complete than the Warriors. Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's something I'd said just a little bit ago. And yeah, I mean, listen, I hope. I'm not rooting against Grady. I'm just telling you what my initial reaction was last year when I scouted all the draft picks. And he was not somebody that I was on my draft this guy list. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the 5 picks that I said the Raptors should pick. And in some ways, I was like, well, okay, he fell this far. He's 13th. He was projected a top 10 pick, and he's this far down. Something's weird about this. And why are we taking him? Well, I hope he still pans out and gives it time. They're saying he's a big part of our future, and maybe it'll just take a little longer. I don't think it's normal for a guard forward to have a center development project timeline. And I don't like that in some ways. In some ways, he should be ready to go right now. And it's annoying me. Let's see. Neil saying 905 inherits its schemes from the Raptors. So there is Eric Curry and culture to look at here. I mean, it's hard to parse out exactly what the issue is with the 905. I mean, you could say the turnover and the change, whether it's guys going back and forth. You never know what the nucleus is going to be. There's injuries. There's people that have go up to the big club like Jonte, and then Grady's there. Sometimes he's not there. It's hard to get continuity. And then also, in some ways, maybe Eric Curry is getting changes to the system as Darko's changing it on the upper level. It may be that some of it is not totally like static. It's fluid, and he may be having to change it in different ways. The other thing is that they don't have a very good roster for defense. There's not very good defenders on most of the 905, so they can't stop other teams and control games to try and win them at the end. And then on top of it, like I said, I have a vote of no confidence in him. I just feel like I can tell from body language and from these players that they may not totally play as hard for him or do things for him as they would for another coach, because in some ways they don't totally respect him. And these are just the issues I see that are a problem with the 905. There's no chance to do continuity because there's too much back and forth and everybody's either hurt or going this way or that way. There's the roster build is not very defensive oriented, and they're not playing defense, and they can't get stops when they need to. They really do not know how to get stops when they need to. Kevin's saying, I'll be happy if Grady turns into Duncan Robinson. I think that's his ceiling. That'd be great. That would be great. Now, once again, I can be really wrong in 2 years from now when Grady's 6'10" and he's bombing threes like crazy, and he's actually a really good player for us, maybe a starter, if not where Gary Trent is in his career right now with us. I would love all that. I'm not a hater. I do want Grady to succeed. I did warn that he should not be drafted by the Raptors, though. Let's see. MSJ saying 47 rebounds. That's the amount that Chev used to say that the Raptors need to get 47 rebounds. Well, I think we're back on that because the way we've been playing lately, we got to get back to Chev's target number and start getting that number again. I said 25 assists last year. Well, Chev's saying 47 rebounds this year. So Raptors get you 47 rebounds. There you go. Jill saying at Nako and Kevin, are you saying we can compete against Steph Curry because Grady Dick? Not today. Grady's not there. Grady is with the other team. Blackhawk saying, hang on, it jumped. Oh, Mobester's here today. All right, good. We're going to talk some Knicks with him. Blackhawk. I'm on Blackhawk. Raptors should not have gone down by 20 to the Queens. Darko was not effective with his timeouts. Darko has to make players attack the paint and draw fouls when the opposing teams are raining threes. Yeah, I agree with this. We should have gone inside way more. We should have saw way more Scotty and Pascal near the basket late in the game. That's just the truth. These guys didn't shoot enough, and this was a failing in some ways of getting to the important players on our offense, Scotty and Pascal. They should have been scoring way more in the fourth quarter on Friday night. Yes. Trevor's saying, as I said before, Raptors will well loved in the U.S., but a lot of the U.S. do not know that even NBA Chev mentioned in his video. What? Trevor, I'm not totally sure what you're saying there. As I said before, Raptors well loved in the U.S., but a lot of us do not know that even NBA Chev mentioned this in his video. Oh, you're saying that the Raptors have a lot of fans across the U.S., but nobody would know that because mainstream media won't tell you that. You see it when we go to opposing buildings. There's a lot of our fans in jerseys that are near the court and all over the place. Yeah, no, this is true. Part of this is snowbird effect. You know, we do have a lot of people that live in Canada and go to work in the U.S., and they go down there, especially in Florida. And, that's the thing. We have people from Canada that in all cities. And if they're basketball fans, they may are more likely to be Raptor fans just from being up here. Now, there's also people down in the States that are like Chev who really respect an underdog. It's Chuck D's the same way. Chuck D has no ties to Toronto necessarily, but he respects the Raptors' journey as a franchise and some of the things they have to put up with, and him being a guy who stands up for, the downtrodden, he likes our team. So I think that that's some of it too. It's like people that root for underdogs can get behind being a Raptors fan. And also, just like Scotty, I always tell this story. When Scotty was a little kid, he became a Baltimore Ravens fan because his brother was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And he just wanted to be anti his brother. He just wanted to be competitive with him. So that's why he chose the Ravens, is because the Ravens and the Steelers have a very famous rivalry, very bitter rivalry in some ways. So he just wanted to be antagonistic to his brother. And that's why Scotty is a Ravens fan. It's only because his brother was a Steelers fan. Now, some people, they go through a rebellious stage in their teenage years and they want to rebel against mom and dad. Well, some people rebel in sports families. There may be a family that's Cowboys fans, Dallas. And there may be one sibling in the family is like, well, I'm a Giants fan. Screw y'all. It's that kind of phenomena sometimes. Sometimes it's the rebellion of somebody in a family. And they're saying, well, you're Celtics fans. Well, I'm going to be a Raptors fan. Screw y'all. I'm a Raptors fan, even though I live in Boston and I'm always here in Boston. I've never been to Toronto, but for some reason, I just want to be an anarchist and be like, yeah, I'm a Raptors fan in Boston. That's part of the phenomena there too. In some ways. Shirkan saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Let's see what we can do against the struggling Warriors. I have a good feeling about this stretch of games before the trade deadline. Interested. Yeah, these teams that we're playing the next 3 games against aren't all rosy and peachy things going on. The Lakers have all kinds of crazy, weird shit going on. Darvin Ham under fire already. They just won the in-season tournament. How can you come after this man and say he needs to get fired, Laker Nation? It's really crazy. Really, really crazy. You're going to make that Cracker Jack trophy that y'all got for in-season tournament look even more valued with the way y'all played since. Is this like WWE? Did y'all just get booked to win that in-season tournament? And now we see the true Lakers. Y'all are just really mid and you're not that good. Well, we'll talk more about this when we're getting closer to the Lakers. But this is true. The next 3 games are gettable. Even the Clippers. I say the Clippers game may be the toughest one out of the 3. But I'll bet you all 3 games are gettable. And to me, success is getting either the game today or the game against the Lakers. I want to get one of the 2 games because we play. I'm doing them in sets of 5. We got to win one more game between this game today or the Lakers. So we do have a little wiggle room for failure. Let's see. Good morning, Rapid Free Crew. Game day is from Cool Cat. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. And Blackhawks saying referees reward aggressiveness in the paint. That's right. That's right. That's why we got more free throws than the Kings on Friday, because we were going in there, we were initiating contact, we are drawing the foul, and we went to the foul line. Zach Zarba, be good to us tonight. Yes, please. Shir Khan saying, interesting fact, Raps were also 7 games under 500, but still made the play-in even with team chemistry issues and Nick Nurse drama. There you go. Shir Khan being a historian and checking in with us when we were last year at this point. And it's very similar, very, very similar. Now, we remember the guys played way better going out. And this is a similar NBA season as last year. Our schedule was top loaded with heavy, bad shit at the beginning of the season, just like this year, last year. And in some ways, maybe this will be a mimic of last year, where we have an easier run going out after the All-Star break. We'll see. I feel like we're going to start winning more and more, especially with the new acquisitions, for sure. Yeah, Dana is laughing and crying. Dana wants somebody to clip that. I'm not even sure what she wants to clip. Blackhawks saying Draymond coming back makes the NBA look like a joke. The young players act up, so the Warriors cry to Adam Silver for Draymond. Yeah, it is whatever. It is whatever. It's funny. I think it's hilarious that they did finally suspend him. I mean, it seemed like he just had a free pass for years to cuss and do whatever you wanted to do dirty. Well, they had enough. And in some ways, I think it's interesting that he did finally get an indefinite suspension, but this wasn't indefinite. It's definite. He's coming back today. He's coming back today. And I always think, well, why the hell does he have to come back against us? Y'all, come on, NBA. Is that part of it? Adam Silver, you saw, they're playing the Raptors, and Chris Paul broke his hand. Well, we got to help the Warriors. They can have Draymond back. Yeah, you went and talked to the lady in there in the couch. Yeah, you did that. You talked about why you're up, like you're messed up. Okay, you can play again. Like, I don't trust that guy figured anything out. I don't think that he figured anything out by this time. I mean, how do you change somebody as a person, a character, the person they are? He's going to do something crazy. I mean, that may be what's going to be fun. We should be on Draymond's crime watch. Crime watch for Draymond. Let's see if he's doing any crimes of assault in the game tonight. And we'll say, look, Zach Zarba, you're the cop. You need to watch out for this guy. He has a known criminal record, and you need to watch out for him. Let's see if they're really going to put him under a microscope and say, look, your behavior needs to be modified, Draymond. Let's see if he gets away with any of his regular shit tonight against us. So we'll have to see. Yeah, you guys. I don't even know what I said. That's so funny. I don't know. I'm all over the place today. I'm a little weird. Milbester's here. Okay, happy Sunday, Rabbit Streak. How was your weekend? I was in Union, New Jersey, at Walmart and Panda Express buying stuff and food with my family. Saw the snow and wintry mix out here. Knicks beat the Wizards. Yeah, you guys got to take care of that business. Yeah, you need to beat the Wizards. Yeah, you need to take care of that. Okay, I like these extra details. In some ways, I like this way better than Nick stuff. I like hearing about your day-to-day life. Panda Express. Yeah, that's an interesting restaurant. I used to eat it all the time when I lived in Tallahassee, but I've learned that it's not necessarily that healthy for you, but it is very good. I do enjoy eating it. Yeah, okay, so you did get across the bridge. You paid that extra toll on the toll bridge, and you went and saw your family in New Jersey. This is good. This is good, Milbester. I'm happy about this. Monique is saying, apparently Otto Porter gets his championship ring from the Warriors tonight. Very good news. A very good tidbit of information from the superfan Monique Lawrence dropping that on us. Otto Porter's getting his championship ring from the Warriors tonight. Isn't this like 2 years late? I guess because he was hurt last year and he didn't travel there last year. He couldn't go there to get it. So, okay, this makes sense. All right. It's kind of like a Danny Green thing. He's just getting it finally now. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's cool. Duke's here. Good to see Duke Rocks. Good to see you, Jace. RJ and IQ should be guarding the point of attack like OG did for us. I want Barnes to be a rim protector and rebounder. Do that and we'll win most rebound battles. Yeah, I like that. I mean, the versatility of Barnes to be able to be in both places is great because he can be a point of attack defender. But in some ways, I like what Duke's saying. I'd like Scotty to be down there getting the rebounds and playing big boy in the lane. Yeah, I like this. Jill's saying at Blackhawk, I see your points about the Kings. However, Sabonis. Milbester saying Raptors should beat the Warriors. Chris Paul was a big part of that team. Who was the one that fractured his left hand? Unless Draymond has a good game, Curry can still carry that team. Yeah. Well, we can't take them lightly. It's the Warriors. Once again, it's always an important distinction. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevon Looney. Yes, that never should be taken lightly. Chris Paul was a big part of what they were doing there this year. Well, he was getting a lot of assists. He wasn't scoring a lot. But we'll see. We'll see this factor. First game without him. We'll see how it goes for them. Blackhawks saying Darko's supposed to be playing through Scotty and Pascal until IQ and RJ are fully integrated. Yes. And I completely agree with that. And he should continue to strive to do that for sure. Let's see. Shirkan saying the Josh news was about the team not talking with Pascal at all for months after the Chicago loss. Other teams talk about an extension right away with their franchise guy. Kind of disrespectful to Siakam. Okay, this is news that I did not know, and Shirkan has informed me for the first time. So you're saying that Josh Lewenberg is saying that Pascal has let it be known from his camp that the Raptors did not talk to him all summer last year, and they didn't talk about extensions or anything with him. They just kind of left him hanging. And in some ways, the way he was kind of away from the team and spending time over in Austria may have been part of this. Okay. Okay. Now, Mugarbe's talking about how we were disrespecting Pascal makes a little more sense now. All right. All right. I want to believe Siakam's people, but in some ways I can't. I can't. I think that this is ridiculous. They were in touch with him. They probably talked to him, but I don't know if they did talk extensions. I don't know. I don't know how to handle this. In some ways, once again, this could be very true. And it is a little bit disappointing, but it could very well be that they didn't like the way the season went. And just like with Fred and just like with Nick and OG now, since they're not sure if Siakam going forward should be a part of our going forward. You know, Siakam was offered an extension during the season. I do know that. And he rejected it then. So maybe it's as simple as this. Maybe Bobby and Masai didn't have anything other than the offer they already offered him to like that would be the same offer. And they're like, well, why would we come back around and give him the same offer? He rejected that one already. Maybe they weren't ready to give him a different kind of offer or a higher offer. I don't know. There could be a lot of reasoning to this. In some ways, I still think it's kind of a non-story. People can get all upset about respect and disrespect, but this is a business once again. And Masai and Bobby are running it to a degree like a family, but they're also running it like where they have to be a competitive GM office. And I don't know. They may have their reasons for this. I don't know. In some ways, I want to think the best of our front office. And I don't know. As long as they're keeping tabs with him and talking to him and they're in contact with him, if they don't talk about the extension, so what? We don't know the whole story. That's the thing. They may be telling us their side of it, and there may be another side of it from the other side. I don't know. In some ways, if it's not a fully complete story from both sides and it actually really tells, it's still hearsay to me. It's still hearsay. Let's see. Wayne's saying rebounds, both defensive and offensive, are key to winning games. Rebounds mean possession. Your opponent can't score when you have the ball. Hence, possession of the rock is germane. Josh News is trash. There you go. Wayne Strainer's got his opinion on it. I mean, I still think, like I just said, it's hearsay. We don't know for sure. And once again, there's maybe reasons why Siakam's group wants to put this out here that they're maybe not good. I don't know. I'm not going to go against my front office no matter what. I want them to handle Siakam respectively. Don't get me wrong. But also at the same time, I'm not going to turn on my team just because of like bullshit that's coming from Lewenberg. No, I'm not going to turn on my guy, Masai, for sure. G saying, turns out that Quickly was fouled on his 3 shot. Those free throws would have tied the game. This is in the last 2-minute report. Okay, so they came out with a 2-minute report, and he was actually fouled on that crazy-ass long 3 that he took right at the end, and he should have went to the line for 3 free throws. Hopefully he would have made them. We can't say for sure. So woulda, coulda, shoulda, G. We can't do this. And the NBA is used to admitting their mistakes afterwards, and it don't mean shit. Nothing's going to change anyway. So this is the thing. The Raptors have to be that good that they have to beat them no matter what. And it doesn't matter if the refs blow a call and we see it in the last minute, 2-minute report or anything like that. It is what it is. Blackhawks saying Sabonis, nothing. We did not start the game right. This is on Darko because he has everything he needs to win, but he has to use his players in the right way. Well, forgive him, Neil. He's just had 2 of these key starters now. 2 starters just show up in the last week. And in some ways, he's still integrating stuff. There's a allowance for failure right now because they're just in an orientation mode right now. In fact, I'm super impressed that we played so well against that team that played at a really high level. That was like the Kings at like 9 out of 10 as far as their performance level. That's them hitting at like 9 out of 10 cylinders, just killing it. And the fact that we are not really that together that long and we almost beat them is really huge accomplishment. Forgive us for not having everything completely down pat yet right away with RJ and IQ just showing up. So that's what I'll say here. It's like, look, man, you got to understand the whole situation. And the fact that we were competitive with the Kings at maybe their best, that's a good thing. That means that we have a ceiling that's over their best. That's what that means. Kareem saying, hey guys, what stupid trades are we stirring up today? Sarcasm. Fuck Golden State. And if K thinks he's going off today, he better think twice. 2019, he screamed louder than Nancy Kerrigan. Oh, Clay. You mean Clay. You said K. I'm like, K Jewelers? I'm like, who is he talking about? K. Who's K? Oh, Clay. Yeah, I don't like Clay Thompson. I really don't. Yeah. Yeah, let's beat the Warriors today. I'm all about it, Kareem. I'm all about it. Yeah, no, I don't want any stupid trade rumors today. I think that the Siakam stuff is kind of over at this point. And we'll just kind of go forward in discovery. Blackhawks saying Embiid will not last the season. He already hasn't. He's missed games already. Space Cadet saying Lex, Pascal Propaganda tweeted about it. They ignored him all the offseason. He was saying that they were ignoring Siakam all offseason. I don't remember Pascal's Propaganda saying that. Well, listen, I mean, I knew that Siakam was detached from the team. He wasn't involved at Rico Hines at the same time as the Raptors, which was weird. And then also, the fact that him and Jakob did not connect in Austria was weird. There was a lot of weird kind of like he was a little bit out on his own exile place in the summer. And I don't know, maybe he was doing that because he felt like they had not communicated to him like y'all are saying. I don't know. In some ways, it is what it is. It's just the past. We can only go forward. He's happy now. We'll have to see how it goes. What's going to happen? His future's up in the air. He's a little stressed about that. Well, I get it. Wayne saying, "Gee, so we suffer a loss based on a referee's mistake again." We can't say that for sure because we don't know if Quickly would have made those 3, and then that's still a tie. That doesn't mean that we won the game or not yet. We can't do this, guys. The NBA is going to screw up over and over again. That's part of the reason why I watch the refs so closely. The 2-minute report doesn't infuriate me anymore. They get this wrong every night with different teams. So that every single day like this, somebody has a gripe about something stupid call that was not called correctly in the last 2 minutes where it could have changed the game. This is just the normal thing for the NBA. It's not just us. And we can't do this. Seriously. The game happened the way it did. Let's leave it alone. Let's move on. Yesterday, we didn't say any of this kind of shit about the game yesterday when we reacted to it. It was just about, hey, we played a hard-fought game. We kept it close with a good Western team that has very much a lot of offensive firepower. And, we kept it close. And I'll take that. I'll take that. It's development. We're learning. We're getting better. We're on a path. And in some ways, we weren't ready to overpower and beat the Kings at that power on Friday night correctly. And even if the refs got it screwed up, even if they got it wrong. Kevin's saying, I think they are talking about Pascal not wanting to re-sign with any other team regarding earlier post about Pascal's camp. No, they're talking about how they didn't reach out to him all summer. But yeah, I mean, he didn't say that. Once again, I'll try and get the right information out there. Siakam never said he would not re-sign with the team if he got traded to them. He killed that rumor. He actually came and said, I don't know who said that. I never said that. These guys are not going to come out and correct rumors. They would be too busy. They'd be doing press conferences all the time. If OG came out and put down every single rumor that he heard about himself. Now he put down the Jake rumor about himself, the training camp after the Jake Fisher rumors about him wanting a big role. Yeah, he killed that too. So these guys are killing the rumors, but it's usually around media day at the beginning of the season. They kill the rumors around then. Let's see. Milbester saying, just crazy how OG made the Knicks 4-0 since the trade and literally changed their season around. We got a 4-game homestand and 5-game homestand this month. They played so many road games this season. Well, I mean, you can say OG's a factor, but really you got to give more credit to your whole entire team. And, OG's not scoring the lights out, but he's definitely having good defensive contributions. What did he get? 9 last night? Yeah, I mean, that's what you're gonna get from him. You guys are getting what you're getting, and, well, you're happy because 'cause you're getting W's, and that's what matters, Mobester, right there. Julian's saying at Space Cadet, Pascal propaganda is terrible. I used to love Pascal propaganda, but at some point, he went rogue in the last year, and he's just not in the same place as me as a hardline Raptors fan. And in some ways, maybe his love for Siakam has made him turn on the Raptors to an extent. I feel like that's part of the factor here. But yeah, he's annoying. He's annoying in some ways. I used to love the guy. He went on TV. They made a big deal out of him, put him on TV. But in the last 6 months, I unfollowed him. I still follow Fred propaganda, but Pascal propaganda turned me off at a certain point because he's just getting a little too negative. And you know that I'm a positive Raptors fan. And at a certain point, when somebody just steps a line, I don't listen to them anymore. And he did that this year. Yeah, he's been terrible in the last 6 months. He was not terrible in the years before that. Space Cadet saying he literally tweeted Lewinberg's article quotes. Okay, so I'll go look at Pascal propaganda after this. And well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it right now. We'll do live reaction. Why not? All right. I haven't been to his I don't follow him anymore. That's part of the reason why I don't see what he's doing. All right, let's see. All right, where is it? Maybe this isn't a good thing to go look because he's got all kinds of extra bullshit on here. Okay, here it is. Okay. Ujiri and Toronto's front office cut off almost all communication with Siakam last summer. Okay, wondering what he left, leading him to wonder if whether he was being punished. So according to source close to the player, the lack of contact was especially strange with Siakam entering the final year of his contract. Typically, players of his caliber don't get that close to free agency without signing an extension. Ujiri's very public message to Siakam on media day, you'll have to earn it. Yeah, okay. We do believe in Pascal. We believe that a lot of our players didn't play the right way last year, and we want to see them play the right way. I said that we were selfish, and I'm not running away from that. We were selfish, and we did not play the right way. Let us see it when we play the right way. Okay, this is all fair. Let's see. As a pending free agent, Siakam holds considerable leverage in what happens over the next month. Now that January is upon us, he's no longer eligible to sign a long-term extension with a team that acquires him mid-season. Before pulling the trigger on a trade, any interested team will be reaching out to Siakam's representatives, looking for some assurance that he's willing to re-sign with them over the summer. Without these assurances, it's hard to see any of them giving that kind of assets that Raptors would need to justify making the move, meaning that Siakam and his camp can essentially block a trade to a specific destination or any destination if they choose. Think of it as a no trade clause without actually having a no trade clause. It's led a couple of sources to wonder whether Raptors' unusual and at times disrespectful treatment of Siakam dating back to last summer has been intended to force his hand or worse, to push him out. I don't get this. You know, they're reading it. You know why they're reading it the wrong way? Because listen, they're reading it from the idea that they think that the ultimate end goal is Siakam's going to leave. That's the problem here. These idiots are reading it the wrong way. Now, I get exactly what Masai's doing. Oh my gosh. He's being very clear. Listen to him. He wants to know that Siakam can play a style with Darko's system that is unselfish and isn't so heavily relying on him having the ball for long periods of time in the possession and just heavy isolation, heavy usage. He wants to see if he can fit in a more equal system like what Darko has. And he has. He is showing it. So in some ways, Siakam is being successful. So I'm going to Windhurst this shit real quick. I'm going to do something that Josh Lewinberg should fucking do himself since he's the professional and he's the one on TV. Well, what if it means this means that they want him long term? That if they were going to extend him before January, that would have meant he's more conducive to trade. So this may mean if they had done the extension before January, that would have mean to me that he's more likely to be traded and off our team. Now they're reading into it that this means the writing's on the wall. They wanted that to be the truth. The writing's on the wall that Siakam's going to leave. Well, this move sounds like to me that they covet him and they want to keep him. And maybe in some ways, because the GM office wants to kind of fit everything under the salary cap, maybe the way they're doing things right now can help with cost and keep Siakam in a Raptors jersey going forward. I read the moves of what they're doing right now is that they value him, that he passed with flying colors about the Darko can you not be selfish test, and that we're valuing him to go forward. They can read it from their perception. I'll read it from mine. And I'll say, well, y'all are completely missing the point that this dude was tested to see if he could get with the program for Darko, and he has. He's done it. And in some ways, us not extending him before that deadline was actually a sign that we want to keep him, because it's harder for us to move him now because we didn't do the extension. Think about it. Really winders the shit. We can't move him as easily because he's not as attractive to other teams. So in some ways, this is telling us that we're not trying to move him. If they had a strategic advantage to extend him before New Year's Eve and make him a better trade asset, they would have done it, y'all. So this is telling me, if you really want to look at it, see, the problem is they all think that he's on his way out. And that their whole basis of every way they look at this from what perspective is saying that. And that's why it doesn't jive and it doesn't make sense in their heads. I figured it out just now. They don't want to trade him because they made him harder to trade. Holy crap. I wish people could just be smarter and understand this Pascal propaganda. I don't know where you got into this place where you think that the Raptors don't covet him or look at, because they ignored him last summer. Well, maybe they wanted to scare him. Maybe they wanted to make him feel like, you know what, I need to come back next year and be a different player. And it worked. It worked to a degree. He worked his ass off all summer. He was a little stressed out. He was a little, I don't know. This is a business. I don't know. But look, dude, you're still in Toronto and everything's fine. And in some ways, this is the thing I would remind Pascal Siakam. Trust in Masai. Because in some ways, that's something the fans just learned they need to continue to do. And I would say the same damn thing to Siakam in his camp. Trust in Masai. You think he's going to disrespect you? You think he's going to treat you poorly on your way out? You think that he's going to make you do a bad thing for you? No, he's looking out for all y'all. He looked out for Kyle. He looked out for Fred. He looked out for OG. He's going to look out for you too. So I don't get this. You got to trust in Masai, Pascal. And in some ways, the deadline just passing and them not doing anything, that tells me they want to keep you. That's what it reads to me. I don't understand why these guys are idiots. You just told me, Lewenberg, that they made it harder to trade Pascal. And that now you're saying, oh, this is, what are you doing? What are they doing to Siakam? What are they doing to him? The other thing is they're believing in the fallacy of that stupid rumor that he said he wouldn't re-sign with people. That's not true. He said it himself. Josh Lewenberg, you're not keeping score. It's not true. If he goes traded to somebody else, he may want to re-sign with them. That was malarkey. That rumor that was put out by Shams last year, Siakam wouldn't re-sign with the team if he got traded to them. That was malarkey. That was a big steaming pile of poop, bull crap over there in the corner. All right, well, this is good. We're debunking this shit and figuring it out. Okay, I'm glad we investigated this. And now I got a more clear picture of this. Siakam's more untradeable now at this point. Well, it sounds like we want to keep him, is what I would say. Yeah. Milbester's saying we got a ton of home games this January. Second half of the season is mostly home games and a few road games. First half was a ton of road games. The OG trade was perfect timing to get better. All right, good for you, New York. The alliance is strong. Yeah. Remember how to vote at Tribal Council. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. All right. Nako the Nacho saying, rest in peace, Joel Embiid's knees. Blackhawk saying, we have to play a full 4 quarters. We would have a double-digit win easily against the Queens. The coach has to get sharper with his players. Well, God forbid he's not perfect right away, Neil. You got to allow Coach Rajakovic a chance to understand newfound discoveries from having these new players on our team and the combinations and things. Seriously, let him do his job. In some ways, we could say this, Blackhawk, that, the Raptors didn't just roll over and die, and his leadership kept them in the game. I've seen this pattern this whole season. There's been many games where the Raptors get blown out in the middle of the game, and they don't stop. They don't quit, and the coach is driving them, and they still manage to come back and make it close. So we got to give him some credit for that also. In some ways, the game on Friday night could have been a complete blowout from the halfway through it and just went that way. No, the coach is actively working and pushing his players to get better and play better. In some ways, we saw that his players not playing professionally or playing at a high level can make him look bad. Well, they're playing better now, and I'm starting to see some of the results, and he's doing a good job. Jillian saying at Blackhawk and Wayne, yes, well, extra points are always helpful knowing what's in store with the refs. Okay, yeah, once again, too much back and forth. Milbester's saying, we like our president and GM Leon Rose, but we hate our owner. James Dolan. We know Dolan hasn't made the team good after how long we were losing as a franchise. Leon Rose gets all the credit for this. See, I told y'all. We have common enemies. We hate James Dolan too because he's suing our team. And y'all hate him because he's ruined y'all's team for a long, long time. So, yeah, we all hate James Dolan, Raptors fans and Knicks fans. And we can bond on that. That's right. That's right. You give all the credit to Leon Rose and CAA. That's right. Mo's saying, can we just applaud Blake Murphy on his latest article on Jonte Porter? All right. I like Blake Murphy overall. I think he's a very informative, fantastic Raptors contributor and person that makes stuff and writes stuff and talks about them. I really do. I wish he was more still like Woj and Shams, though. He's really kind of just become like a radio show kind of guy and kind of like but not as much like the breaking news guy. Like he used to be the guy that did Woj bombs for the Raptors. It's like Blake Murphy's reporting this and this. He doesn't do that anymore. He's not really that beat reporter anymore. He was so good at that. In some ways, that was your strength, Blake Murphy, when you were doing the Shams Woj work. And in some ways, you're just not doing that anymore. You're not on the pulse of things like you used to be. In some ways, I lost respect for you after that because you were one of my best sources for information. Now you don't talk shit about Raptors 905 at all. You don't talk about this. You don't talk about that. I wish you would tweet more about the comings and goings of the Raptors organization because you were the best source for that for a while. But now you're on TV and you're on the radio with Willie Lou and this Raptors show. No time to be the Woj of the Raptors organization. No time for that. No time. But a great article on Jonte. I'll have to go read it. Space Cadet saying Ujiri and the Toronto front office cut off almost all communication with Siakam last summer, leading him to wonder if he was being punished. Man. Well, that's you assuming, and that makes an ass out of you and me, Siakam. Why do you say, hey, have a great vacation, Siakam? Go enjoy yourself. What, do you need them to come talk to you all the time? I don't know. In some ways, I won't go too far with this. I love you, Siakam. Listen, if you want something cleared up, Masai's office is there. Go talk to him. You know, in some ways, what is it? You could have called them, maybe. Maybe you could ask them. If you're so worried and stressed out, call them. Say, hey, listen, don't sit there and sulk over in Europe for the whole summer and be like, why aren't they talking to me? No, be proactive. Go and find out for yourself. Get your agent to go call Bobby and say, what are y'all doing? And say, well, I'm glad you're calling finally. I do actually have an extension. I lost your phone number. I didn't know where you were. Oh, that's what was happening? You lost my phone number? I don't know. It could be a whole lot of things. And we can read into this every which way. They want to put words like disrespectful on top of it. We don't know if it was disrespectful. We don't know. In some ways, that's them putting their own perception on top of the whole situation. Okay, there wasn't a lot of communication between Siakam's camp and the Raptors last summer. I don't know. Maybe in some ways they were trying to wheel and deal him. Maybe nothing happened, and maybe it is what it is. I don't know. We don't know. Y'all are speculating. Y'all are saying it's disrespectful. Do you feel disrespected, Siakam? Did you really feel disrespected by this team that pays you $30+ million a year? I mean, how can you feel disrespected by a team that pays you so much money and made you an amazing NBA star? How can you feel disrespected by that? I don't understand this. I really don't. I think, once again, people are filling in the blanks with their own ideas of what they perceive, and it's not totally the truth of what's going on here. It's not totally the truth. Pally Poppy's here. Good to see Nameless. Buongiorno, la famiglia. Come va oggi. Come va oggi. Good morning, family. How's it going today? Thank you, Italian teacher. Bam, 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 bam. Milbester saying Raptors should be able to beat the Warriors tonight. There's also a center that Golden State recently got, and he's helped fill that center position, which they needed, but Paul injury hurts. Yeah, you know what? Listen, this is going to have a good game tonight. I want to just watch the Raptors so bad right now. It's just fun to watch the Raptors right now, and I'm excited to have a game at 8:30 tonight. I'm all about it. Jillian saying to Space Cadet, we well know that Pascal does not want to go. Masai was possibly preoccupied finding a team coach. Oh, God forbid that we were trying to scramble, figure out the Fred VanVleet shit, get Dennis Schroeder, the draft with Grady. There was a very busy offseason last year. And the coach's search took up a big part of what we were trying to do as far as figure things out. God forbid. Now people are trying to read into things like Masai's interview after we got the new guys, where he mentioned that we're building around Scotty, and then they didn't mention Siakam. They always overread bullshit like this. Just because they didn't say Siakam's name, they said Scotty's name, doesn't mean that Siakam is not a part of our future plans. That's like the first thing that idiots saw or thought when Ujiri did the interview about RJ and IQ coming to our team. He said, this is going to be great. We have some players to put around Scotty as we build around him. They just assume he didn't say anything about Siakam. He didn't say anything. Maybe Siakam's part of building around Scotty. They just assume because they said Scotty instead of Siakam that Siakam's on his way out. That's assuming, once again, you're making an ass out of you and me. That's assuming that you hear Ujiri say, oh, we're building around Scotty. And then you just assume we're trading Siakam from that. See, it's y'all like adding a little bit more to the puzzle than not just taking the little pieces that you get. Ujiri doesn't have to say. Did he say it's like we're building around Scotty, Gary, and Siakam and Jakob? You know, does he have to give you a list of who he's building around? No, the number one guy he's building around is Scotty. And it doesn't mean that Siakam's out the door. That's you inferring that on top of what he said. That's where a lot of this shit starts. It's just stupid shit like that because Masai comes out and said, we're building around Scotty. And then what about, he didn't say Siakam. Oh, he must be getting traded. No, that's you putting 1 + 1 = 3 is what it is. That's what that is right there. Jillian saying, buongiorno, buongiorno, buongiorno. I hope I get good marks from my Italian teacher today. Blackhawk saying, referees were bad, but when we do damage to ourselves, that is worse. Neil, I don't know where you're in this hole with thinking that we're doing damage to ourselves. I thought we played a very solid game, and we didn't play perfectly, but we're a work in progress. And every time out, we're supposed to get better and better and better. There were coaching mistakes by Darko on Friday night. Yes. I feel like he should have went to Pascal and Scotty way more at the end of the game. The team just failed to do that. And then RJ probably should have been in the game also. But I'm not here to critique Darko right now. There's no reason to critique Darko. It's unnecessary. And in some ways, it's part of the toxic noise around him right now. It's just not necessary right now. He's too early. He's too young with his career as an NBA coach. And this new team that he just got, he's got to figure it out. So you need to give him a little bit more leeway. Let's just put it that way. Pally Poppy's got the patties or the hand. It's like this, I think. I think this is what that is. I'm not sure if it's this or if it's a patty. It looks like there may be 3 patties, like I make on the microwave in a little bit and eat for lunch. Yeah, Mugabe's saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. It's not good look for the front office, the way they're dealing with Pascal, if it's true. Well, whatever. The front offices do more egregious, really crazy, fucked up shit than Masai Ujiri and what the Raptors have done over the years. Trust me. There's some dirty dealing in the NBA history of giving the shaft to players. Siakam is fine. This is ridiculous. Once again, everybody who thinks he's getting disrespected or this kind of stuff is so stupid. What are you talking about? He's the highest paid player on our team. He's living a charmed life playing the NBA. How is he being disrespected? Because they didn't talk to him last summer? Well, I'm sorry. They're busy trying to get a new coach. Oh, I'm sorry. They're trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen with Fred VanVleet. Oh, I'm sorry that they slipped their mind and they didn't keep in contact with him. What is this? A baby in a teat? You need to feed the baby every day? I don't know. In some ways, it's like, get over yourself. In some ways, listen, seriously, you play in the NBA, you're good. But what is it? You got a phone too. You call them. You really feel like you're disconnected with them. Seriously. I'm sick of people saying, oh, they ignore me. It's like, motherfucker, you have your own self that you can go and reach towards them if you really want to get answers to your questions. It's a stupid excuse. They disconnected. They didn't talk to me. Well, you reach out to them and talk to them. Be proactive in your own damn life. Take control of what you can control and go and call them yourself. That's why this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the press is using it as a vehicle to say that our front office is disrespectful to Siakam. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Even if it's coming from Siakam's camp, they should be smarter. And they should be like, we're calling them. Let's find out right now. Country Con saying, good morning, Raptors Freaks. Lex, I share your disappointment with Grady's season. Personally, I wanted us to draft Keontae George, but many fans thought he was too inefficient. We have to be patient. Yeah, we're going to have to be patient with him. Look, we've made our bed with him, and we got to lie in it. It's not like we can go back and change Mulligan or anything like that. No, this is just how it's going to be. And it is what it is. We want to make as best out of him as we can. Now, Malachi's been a fail. That draft pick was a fail. I don't want Grady Dick to be the next Malachi Flynn. Let's just put it that way. Chris is saying, I just wanted a Dick jersey. Well, you can go get one. Go get a Dick jersey. Fine. Space Cadet saying, it's led a couple of leaked sources to wonder if the Raps' unusual and at times disrespectful treatment of Siakam dating back to last summer has been intended to force his hand or worse, push him out. How's this pushing him out? We made it harder to move him. This logic does not make sense. How will we push him out? Well, because we trade him. And then, like, what happens then? Okay, yeah, it's on his terms whether he wants to sign with that team. I don't get this. I do not get this in any kind of way. What is going on? I feel like this is manufactured press bullshit. In fact, it's coming from like Rogers people and people like that. Once again, I don't believe this kind of shit. Siakam really feels that disrespected, and he's in such a bad place. Why is he playing at such a high level and he seems fine? Because he has a personal pride in the way he plays? Sure. But in some ways, if you're so upset with the team that you play for, you do not play the way that Siakam's playing right now. You really don't. He's playing badass. He's playing at a high level. And this is ridiculous. I feel like this is something that needs to be dropped. The media is pushing this shit, and they have reasons for it. It's because they want you to hate Masai. They see that Masai and Bobby made a huge trade, and all the fans are liking them again, and they're using this storyline to keep you guys against Masai and make him think he's a bad man, a bad man that just ignores Siakam. This is the most convoluted, stupidest ass storyline I've heard so far for the reason why we should hate the Raptors front office. This is the dumbest one I've heard. Players, they don't owe you anything. You are lucky that Masai Ujiri acts like a surrogate father to y'all. You are lucky that we act in a family kind of way. If you were working for Jerry Krause in the 90s, you would be treated disrespectfully every single day on the way to office. He'd say, you're a piece of shit. Shoot better. I don't know why I pay you this money. Well, you played for the Clippers when they had Donald Sterling as an owner. You would sit in the front row and call you racial words and yell at you while you're in the middle of the game. Ask Chris Paul. What is this about babying people about, oh, he's been disrespected? No, he has not. He's been paid millions of dollars. He's been taken care of. This is the most ridiculous story that the media is using to try and mud rake the Raptors front office at this point. I want y'all to understand this. Seriously, y'all going to keep saying disrespect and Siakam? Yeah, that's bullshit. I'm going to say that right now. You go talk to Jerry Krause and find out how he treated Scottie Pippen. You figure out that the disrespect of Scottie Pippen with Jerry Krause, and you come tell me how a front office treats a top-level player in the middle of a championship runs with the Bulls. You come talk to me about that and tell me if Siakam is disrespected. Scottie Pippen was underpaid chronically his whole entire career because Jerry Krause disrespected him the whole time he was there. Nah, Siakam's not disrespected. There's levels to this. And people want to buy the stupid-ass media trope that Siakam's being disrespected by our front office. Well, you're getting hook, line, and sinker. It's just like that. Y'all buying this bullshit because they want you to hate Masai and Bobby. You can't hate Masai and Bobby because of the trade now. Well, you're going to hate them because they disrespected Siakam. That's the new plan. Seriously, y'all can fall for it if you want. You think Siakam's disrespected? You think he's feeling so bad? No. Come on, man. Whatever. He may be a little worried about his future because he doesn't know exactly what's going to happen. It's unsure, but that's normal in the NBA. That is normal. And if he really wants to know what's going on, I'm sure Masai and Bobby will talk to him. It's not like they won't pick up the phone if Siakam's calling. So I think this is ridiculous. This is one of the most ridiculous stories I've ever heard. And some other people can believe this bullshit that the Raptors front office is disrespecting Siakam. I will not myself. Because honestly, I see how this operation works. It's a family business. And if Siakam is really in such a bad place, he can call them, is what I would say right now. If he was in such a bad place last summer, he could call them. They have phones in Austria. You call them and you find out for yourself. It's crazy. Jillian saying, Pally Poppy is about the referees tonight, both loving The Godfathers as their favorite movie. Of course. Yeah, of course. He would say he can't trust a paisano like Zach Zarba. He'd be like, no, you can't have an Italian referee. You can't trust him, is what he would say as an Italian man himself. Yeah, that's what he would say. Let's see. Wayne saying, Lex always asks freaks to question the source of the report. Who told Josh what he's reporting? He's just speculating on an issue on the table. Again, Grady needs to be in the gym. No ads, no podcasts. You know what? I am trying to see through they're talking about, and once again, I know what their goal is. Their goal is to make y'all hate the front office, and just realize that if you guys want to go ahead and get in line with that, go ahead. But it's not the way I am here. That's not the way I am here. I'm going to trust Masai blindly, and even if it seems like it's something screwed up, like trading DeMar DeRozan, I'm going to trust Masai. This is the thing I've learned. It's like I was pissed at Masai after he traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. I was pissed at him. I love DeMar DeRozan, but I learned that I needed to trust Masai when we won a championship. So this is just this kind of shit. I will say this over and over again. This is just this kind of shit is what I'm saying. It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. Y'all can believe this if you want, but I'm not going to. I am not going to. Blackhawks saying simple way to solve the Grady problem is to trade for a vet. If we can't wait for Grady to improve, anyways, we have the 905 for this exact reason. Yeah, we got to wait for Grady. And in some ways, we're just going to have to let him have his timeline. Country Kong saying, I still believe Grady will figure it out. He has a huge following in the U.S. Lots of people thought he would play right away because of his shooting. I hope he gets playing time before the season ends. Yeah, nothing is guaranteed. It's going to take some time. Jillian saying at Space Cadet, Masai was likely preoccupied with getting a team coach. Yes, this is once again discussion between you guys. Let's see. Flynn did play last night. He played 1 minute and missed one shot. That's all he did. He came out there. He played 1 minute. He took one shot and he missed it. And that's the Knicks debut for Malachi Flynn. Troy Henry saying, heard Curry wants a get back from losing that Nuggets game, but I said not tonight, buddy. What do you mean? Why would he get a get back against us? Like, that's against the Nuggets. That crazy shot that Jokic hit the other night, that 40-footer to win the game, that's amazing, by the way. Why would he want the get back against us? I mean, they did beat the Pistons since then, too. So he's gotten get back against the Pistons on Friday night. I don't know why we're involved in this. Wayne saying 47 rebounds, 18 3-pointers. That ratio gives you an opportunity to win consistently. I like that. Those are good numbers. So those are good target numbers. 47 rebounds, 18 3-pointers, 30 assists. Add that to that. Shirkan saying, we don't have to worry about Grady too much. He was the best shooter in the draft. It's just a confidence issue. He has other skills to back up his game. His comparison is more like Hayward than Robinson. Man, Shirkan's awesome, man. I actually really like when Shirkan's here regularly, so I'm going to give him a dunk because I want to encourage Shirkan to be here because he's just really on it. He really knows Raptors, and he has just the best questions. He's so good in Raptors tonight, too. Oh, my gosh. Shirkan, you're like a hero to me, man. Milbester saying, we finally got to see Malachi Flynn play, but he will come when needed or a blowout. If Deuce gets hurt, he's back up, but it was good to see Flynn play on the court for the first time. Achua played in D.C. Achua was better, too. Achua was a bit better, too. I think he was 2 of 2, and he got 4 points or something. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Thank you for the reports on our Raptors, her former Raptors. Jillian saying, Shirkan, Grady needs to beef up and get used to the NBA court distances. Yes, I agree with that. Pally Poppy saying, I'm loving the eerie backlight on this somber morning, Lex. I don't even know why it's somber. It's not. I've usually used the natural light of outside, but it's a little dreary with the snow. And I have a light that I use, one of those like mood lights when you're in the middle of the winter. It's a seasonal disorder light. That's what I'm using as a light up. I saw that I was lit up really good for the stream yesterday. And with the new microphone and better lighting, I'm just trying new things. But maybe it's a little dark and ominous. Maybe I should have put the overhead light on too. I just put the light on the floor and it's shining up at me. Let's see. Wayne saying, Milbester, we have access to all NBA games. We don't need your updates. Go watch some Patrick Ewing games and learn something. No, Milbester is a good guy. I don't mind it. I told him specifically, and he's trying. He's doing better. He can tell us about Knicks updates with our former Raptors. I do want to hear about that kind of stuff. Now, if he's going too in depth on Knicks stuff, yeah, we'll be saying, yeah, dial it back. But, yeah, we're managing Milbester, and I love him. He's great. He's a great addition. Great addition. Duke saying, back in the late 70s, early 80s, my brother loved the Steelers. To rebel, I went with the Cowboys, so I know what you mean, Lex. Yeah, see, you did a Scotty. You did a Scotty. Your brother was a huge Steelers fan. So you said, guess what? I love the Cowboys. And boom, it was on. You had that brotherly rivalry because of that. That's just how it goes sometimes. You will have rebels and families in the States. And they say, Dad, I'm a Raptors fan. We're a Celtics family. How dare you, Junior? What are you doing with your life? You're a Raptors fan. We're a Celtics family. I hate you, Dad. I love Scotty Barnes. That kind of shit going on in households in New England. Pally Poppy saying, Milbester, Flynn will not be a Knick for very much longer. Ooh, it sounds like he knows something. He knows something. I bet he does. He will swim with the fishes like Luca Brasi. Yeah. Let's see. Jillian saying at Wayne Strainer, laugh out loud. Why am I no longer able to see Mel's post? Because you blocked him. You have personally blocked him. And I can see him, but you can't. Nako saying, I don't think Flynn is in the league next year. I don't know why, but I think Precious is going to be on Detroit next season. That's an interesting point. I don't know. Those are interesting predictions, Nako. We'll see if you're right. Let's see. At Pally Poppy and Nako, best thing for Flynn would be better if he could somehow go back to G League, if somehow he could go there. Yeah, he can go there just like Justice Winslow went there. But it's not going to be because he's a young player and they're trying to develop him. No, it's because he's trying to save his career. That will be the reason why he goes to G League next. Neil's saying Draymond kicked Bradley and Adam in the balls. Stomp Sabonis, choke Gobert. Draymond has not changed. No, we didn't expect John Morant to change after his rehabilitation, and he didn't. In fact, it's crazy. He comes out and he does certain celebrations with his hands now. And I'm sure Adam Silver loves that. That's what I'm saying. They're going to try and rehabilitate people like John Morant, Josh Primo, Draymond Green with their different issues. Well, how do they know if they're really gone or not? And in some ways, we're going to have to see it on the court. Now, if he does something out of pocket, violent on the court again, like God forbid to one of our Raptors tonight, well, I hope they come heavy-handed. Maybe they need to throw his ass out of the league for the next thing and say, look, you're not listening. You're not getting with it. Your violence is not a part of the game. It's extra. It's not necessary. You're going to really hurt someone. And this is why we suspended you indefinitely. Well, this time you didn't listen. You haven't changed. And you're just fucking out of the league, bro. You have to early retire because you are a dangerous person. And you are going to hurt one of our multi-million-dollar golden boys. And it's going to hurt the league because of money. And that's what we care about the most. Draymond, if you put somebody like Jason Tatum out on the shelf for 6 months because of a violent act, well, you're out of the league. Something like that. I don't know. I don't trust him coming back. You think he's going to do anything different tonight? I don't know. Let's see if we got Draymond Green on his best behavior tonight. I don't know if we will. I really don't. Milbester saying at Wayne, I've seen all these games. I'll watch the 80s, Bernard King and Celtics, Lakers, Birds, Magic. See, Milbester's not a youngster. Milbester's cool, man. I can tell. He's watched all the old stuff. Like he's watched Bernard King. He knows who Walt Frazier is. That's right. A lot of youngsters don't know who Walt Frazier is, and that's messed up. It's messed up. Yeah, Jillian saying if Draymond touches one of my Raptors, ooh, Jillian Moody gonna be going to the Bay Area to find Draymond Green. If he touches a single hair on one of those Raptors, Nako saying put Flynn in the G League. He's an all-star. No, he's not. I'll bet you if you put him in there, he'd just look like everybody else there. I bet you Flynn would look like Jayshawn Page. If he played in the G League, he would look just like Jayshawn Page. He'd be the same level and the same kind of stuff. I'll bet you he's the same level as Jayshawn Page. I will say that right now. Norma's saying, happy day, all. Hope Raps have a great day. You too, Norma. Always good to see you. Check in. Pally Poppy saying Flynn is pro-am specialist. Yeah, his season's in the summer. That's when he gets up to play. Look out, Matt Me Center. He'll come out down there to the Toronto Pro-Am and drop 60. Yeah. Milbester's saying at Pally Poppy, Murray trade talks to New York might affect Flynn. But yeah, I see what you mean, that he isn't the centerpiece of the trade or the team. He's just leveraged to another big trade for them. Yeah, we're just glad we unloaded him. Honestly, we didn't need him on a roster spot. We didn't need him tanking our games, coming in and not being an effective player. Mugabe saying Pascal was the only in the playing good in the play-in. He dropped 30-plus points. So why was he being the one who's punished? Once again, Mugabe, I'm going to say it. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. Don't listen to the press right now. Seriously. They have one objective, and it's for you to be mad at the front office. Now, it's your choice. Do you want to listen to them and be mad at the front office just because they told you to? You're right. I'm not going to say you don't have to do that. But know that you're being manipulated. That they want you to hate the front office. The front office did an amazing move recently, and they're more popular and getting people behind them again. They're losing the fight against the front office. So they're manufacturing more bullshit to make you turn against Masai and Bobby. And it's up to you whether you want to believe this or not. I say that, look, you look at this situation and Siakam's fine. It's not, there's nothing wrong with this. He's not being disrespected. This is bullshit. This is absolutely just made up media bullshit. And it's up to you whether you want to buy it or not. If you hate Masai and Bobby because you feel like they're disrespecting Pascal, well, then they did their job, is what I'm going to say. They did their job that they intended to do, because that's the whole result they want, is what I just said. Wayne's saying, I bet the Warriors won't be playing no videos of Otto in the arena. They just only Raptors honor opponents in our arena. Then they torch us. Josh headline is just being pushed by the youngster Ben Rogers of Raptors Digest. Okay, there's a lot in there. I don't know if they'll do a tribute video for Otto. I'll bet you they will say something. I'll bet you they do. They do a lot more than you think, Wayne, across the league. In some ways, a lot of teams honor other people in different ways, especially this one, because he's a champion. He was on their championship team. They're going to make a note of it. I'll be very surprised if they don't. Now, we don't see this kind of stuff on our broadcast because they normally don't show this kind of stuff, but we'll see tonight. We'll have to see who's right. We'll have to see if you're right or I'm right. I think they are going to do it, and that you're wrong in this instance right here. Let's see. Ben Rogers, I'm disappointed in you. Whatever. These guys need some content. They need something to talk about. They're going to talk about something. Blackhawk saying Raptors tried to lowball Pascal, so Pascal declined. No biggie. That's negotiations. Exactly. In some ways, that's what my front office should be doing. Let's get him on a good cost. In some ways, there's nothing wrong with this. There's two sides. In some ways, once again, I'm always on the front office's side because I want the whole of the team to be better. If we can get Siakam for cheaper, I'm all for that. I'm not like, let's pay Siakam the absolute most and hurt our team with a salary cap. No. Bobby Masai understand the pieces, and they're going to do what they're going to do. Maybe there is a disconnect between the money that different people want. And why is it Bobby and Masai's fault then that they don't agree? Maybe Pascal's being greedy. How about that? Instead of saying that Masai and Bobby are being disrespectful, why don't we just say that Siakam may be being greedy? How about that? We can make any storyline you want. You can just generate it. I'm just making one up. We're going to say Pascal Siakam's greedy. He wanted way more money than he deserves. And that's the storyline. Now, is any of that true? I don't know, but I can say it, and you could go and run with it if you want, just like this other bullshit that y'all are running with right now. Is that the example is right there? Well, in the negotiations, they were giving him a fair offer, but he was greedy, and he wanted a much higher offer, and that's why the discussion went apart. We can say all kinds of bullshit, and people will believe it these days. Let's just put it right. That way, yeah. Mugabe saying, Lex, you think the front office can do no wrong? You're damn right I do. You're damn right I do. Because I know that overall the steering of the ship of the Raptors for the last 10 years has been amazing. I know that they've done the best job in the whole entire league. Forgive me for unconditionally trusting in Masai, because I've learned even the times when I didn't trust him, I should have. And I don't want to keep getting burned on that. So, yeah, they can't do any wrong in my eyes. Partly because I know that they're the best front office in the whole entire league. The whole other rest of the league covets them. And then a lot of the media that's put out there is to dislodge them from our team on the hopes that they will go and run another team in the NBA. That the NBA really wants them to run the Knicks or the Wizards or any other fucking team in this league other than the Raptors, because they know they're winners. They know how to run a team to make a team a perennial competitor. And they hate that they're here. Their talent is in Toronto. So the media is used as something to try and dislodge them and make us go against them as Raptors fans or just whatever bullshit. So, yeah, I do believe they can do no wrong, because I know that a lot of the wrong that people are putting out there is a bunch of bullshit, and that we should really covet and protect our front office. And the more fans say that, oh, I'm not happy with the front office for this, I'm not for that's Ted Rogers smiling. He's happy when people are like that. He's very happy because he's trying to get Masai out. And y'all can either be a part of the solution or the problem. The problem is pushing him out. The solution is to keep him here and to protect him. So either you can be a part of the solution or the problem, as far as I'm concerned. And that's your choice. The Raptor Freak way is to support this front office unconditionally and say, yes, they can do no wrong. Because the reason why is they can do things that'll be like, what the fuck? Why did they trade DeMar? And I don't trust that. Well, like I said, I came to trust it over time. And that's why you should trust them unconditionally also, because we don't know what they're doing. Once again, they're secretive and they're doing a good job. I just know that. Jill's saying, Mugabe, do not jump on some rumors. It'll drive you crazy. Don't do it. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Let's just go by what happens. Transactions. People get traded, people sign contracts. That's what you should look at. There's so much speculation that's totally unnecessary and it's just hot air and it's stupid. It's so stupid. Mobester's saying Wayne Strainer, NBA teams aren't scared of the Warriors like they used to be. The league and teams have caught up to the Warriors. The Raptors can beat them tonight. Paul is out and Green barely back. I like what Mobester's saying there. Jillian's saying, not true. Lex just told us again how much he thinks Dick was a bad choice. Yeah, see, I didn't totally agree with them on that, but I'm going to ride with them because it's not necessary for me to be toxic about them picking Grady Dick against my wishes. It's not about me. It's about the Raptors. And that's the whole thing that separates me from a lot of the other people doing content is that it's not about me. I don't give a shit if I'm right or not. But in this case, I don't want to be right. That's the whole thing. This is like the very opposite of things. I don't want to be right about Grady. I want them to be right. And I want to trust in them still. Mugabe is saying that Jillian explains to me why your best player has not got an extension because they're not meeting at the same place with the number. And like I said, we could easily just say, okay, the front office is disrespecting. Well, we could say Siakam's being greedy also. You could say it both ways. You can say it both ways. It's just what you want to believe. That's all. Jillian's saying we've discussed this. He was lowballed, so now waiting to hear back. I don't know if he was lowballed. Maybe they gave him the offer they were willing to give him at that time. That's their right. They're a business. They're a front office. We don't know what the number is. So they could have been perceived as lowballing from the Siakam camp. But I don't know what the number is. I don't know if NBA experts would say that's a low number for Siakam. They're insulting him. We don't know the particulars. So we can't say if he was lowballed or not. That's coming from Pascal's camp. Well, maybe that's part of the negotiation tactics to put it out there and make the public perceive that we're lowballed him on the offer. But I don't know what it is. Once again, this kind of shit is not interesting for me to talk about. It really, really isn't. I like talking about the basketball and I like talking about how the team is doing. The front office stuff is not that interesting to me. And in some ways, a lot of this is hot air. Let's see. Wayne is saying the right thing right here. We trust our front office by their track record. We have the second best win record in the NBA for the last 10 years. So, yes, we think they're fantastic. Think 2019. Exactly. And Wayne's getting a dunk. Wayne's getting a dunk for this one. Because honestly, I wish people would toot the horn of the front office way more because they deserve it. More people are just dragging them down and bashing them. And there's not enough positive voices about the front office like me and Wayne out there. And there should be. There should be very much so. That's disrespectful. That how people disrespect our front office and all their accomplishments and their track record of success. That is what's disrespectful right now. The fact that people don't trust Masai is disrespectful, is what I would say right now. Nako's saying mentally Grady is pretty mature. Yeah, he's pretty mature. His body's not, and he's not ready yet. It's just weird. G saying Mugabe, this is not unusual. If Pascal makes all NBA, he qualifies for a supermax. Same reason Jaylen Brown didn't sign an extension. Both sides need to see how this plays out. You know, the Raptors may be treating him way better than other franchises in the same exact situation right now. It's just that you're getting it put on blast in your face by people that want you to believe something. You know, this is everyday NBA GM shit. This is not uncommon. This is not a really weird situation that just came out of the blue and is like very unique. This is not unique in any kind of way. This is normal for the way the NBA is and contract negotiations between front offices and players. There's nothing weird about this or anything. You could say other teams are probably way more disrespectful than the Raptors are with their negotiations with things. Trust me, they are. They're more cutthroat and they're probably more cold. They're the kind of teams that would break it to you that you're traded by a text instead of coming to you at lunch and breaking it to you in your face like Masai did last Saturday. So I'm just saying there's levels to this. The Raptors are a family kind of oriented run team, and they are way more out there and reaching out to players and keeping them on the same page than most teams in this league. I'm going to say that right now. Let's see. G saying chances are he won't make all NBA, so most likely he'll be a max, whether he stays or is traded. The status of all NBA is the holdup, in my opinion. Yeah, that really screwed things up with this whole thing, and that may be by design. That it just really threw a whole like kink in it. If he had just made all NBA last year, it would have been simple. Just pay him that money and boom, he's going forward. But no, he didn't. And he wants another chance to get it. But in some ways, he's trying to do the impossible. He's trying to get all NBA on a team that's not winning, that has taken away his isolation and his dominance in the offensive end and made it more equal with more people. It's going to be extremely hard for him to achieve all NBA this year. and get to that level to get into that super max level. It's just going to be extremely hard. And that's just how it is. In some ways, it's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to be, because in some ways, I'm not totally comfortable paying Siakam the super max, and that's not disrespect. That's just smart management of your team. Let's see. Mugarbe is saying at G, but the front office limiting Siakam from making the All NBA this season. That's why Darko don't play him through much. That's not true, though. And first of all, that's not what our goals are supposed to be for this year. Maybe Nick was like that a couple years now, where he was trying to help Fred and people get paid a lot of money by overplaying them. Well, we're not doing that anymore. As part of the change from the selfishness, because what you're saying right here is a selfish thing for Siakam. It's not a team thing. And the thing what we need to do right now is have our offense run in a team way that Darko envisions, because he's a coach, and it's not about catering to every little whim that Siakam wants, and that he should just get the score as much as he wants to make All NBA, to force that. There's no guarantees of that, first of all. And second of all, he was close to getting it last year and he didn't get it. And that's just how it fucking goes. That's just how it goes. Once again, I'm team first. I'm not Siakam first. Siakam's an important player, and I do care about him, and I want good things for him. But I'm team first, and that's what matters first. G saying this is the equivalent of someone getting a bonus based on sales quota. You can't pay them until the quota has been met or not. I also think this is a nothing story. Siakam doesn't seem upset. Boom, boom, and boom. This is actually just a really smart Raptors fan. G has been one of the smartest people on this channel for a long time. And it's like this is a non-story. This is a non-story, and he's getting a dunk. And it's just made up bullshit. It's made up bullshit. If it's so bad and Siakam's so upset, why is he playing so high level? And why does he seem like he's doing everything? Because he's a professional? Okay, well, that's what this is. Professional sports. Act professional. Do what you do. You'll get paid what you're supposed to. You'll get paid what you're supposed to. G saying, in all fairness, the ball didn't go through Siakam or Barnes last game. That is true. That is true. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Yes, Lex, you did say weeks before the draft that you didn't think the Raptors should draft Grady and that he wasn't ready for the NBA. You called it, unfortunately. Well, my longtime watchers will know my track record, and they'll remember what I've said before. I wanted to hide that for most of the season, but right now, in some ways, it's rearing its ugly head. And I hate it. I don't like being right when I'm right and the front office is wrong. I don't want that. I want them to be right over the long term. Let's see. Mugarbe is saying, laugh out loud. But Lex, Messiah of all persons, should know Pascal is not a selfish person. And he should know Pascal will fit in any situation. Well, he knew that down low, and that was part of the test. And he passed it. He passed it. I mean, we knew this. I knew that Siakam's the kind of player. He's easygoing, and he's very malleable and versatile, that he could do this. And that's what we wanted to know for sure. In some ways, we want to make sure he's okay with changes in this team, that Scotty's going to be more prominent and he's going to be more the man, and Siakam is not going to be that anymore. In some ways, you got to realize that the vibe and the fit is still good with Siakam being okay with that. There's a lot of different things that matter to this other than just how well Siakam is playing. It's fit. It's about whether he's listening to Coach Darko. It's about whether he is going to be a part of our plans. It's part of sorting it out. And it's I get it. I think the Messiah deep down knows his personality. And yes, he agreed. He knew this, like you're saying, that he knows that Siakam's not selfish. He put him through a test. Well, he's passed. He's passed as far as I'm concerned. He's passed this test of selfish or not selfish. He definitely has. Jillian saying, Mugarbe, this isn't personal. Pascal proved himself. Business is business. There you go. She's cutting it down the lines the way it is. This is business, baby. It's business. Wayne saying, as usual, we're the cerebral channel. Great take, Lex. Freaks pay no attention to content contributors. They push silliness. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Mugarbe saying, Jillian, what am I saying? Trade him or extend him? Well, I want him to get settled too. I'm just as unsettled about it as a lot of people are. That I just want to know the future for Siakam also. That's a big, huge question mark. And well, when we finally figure that out, it'll be great because everybody will breathe a big sigh of relief. Everybody, Siakam especially, but especially, Raptors fans, because this has been so unknown and not totally clear. Once we get it figured out, well, boom, it'll make things a lot easier going forward and people will feel more sure. In some ways, this is similar to the OG thing. The OG had a cloud of not totally sure what's going to happen with him over him, and it caused problems with our team in this season so far. It did. When he went away, some of that went away. Well, there may be still some of this kind of cloud over Siakam, and we need to figure this out. I really do think he's in a part of our future, and that everything's going to be fine, and that he's not going to be traded. He's going to be on the Raptors, and he'll be getting paid a fair price for what he should be getting paid. And honestly, once again, we can't quibble over certain amounts of money. We'll pay him as much as we can within the parameters of what we can pay him. And that will be what matters right there. Yeah. Let's see. Jill saying, Mugabe, Pascal's vital to help cleaning up games. Yeah, we value him. We do. Don't make it seem like we disrespect him. We don't care for him. We don't want him. We do. We do. We very much do. Milbester saying Raptors will keep Siakam. A lot of players in Toronto are going to be free agents. They will have cap space and they'll sign them. See, Milbester from the outside in Knicks Nation, he sees it this way. Chris is saying with Siakam, the money issue is the issue. Not that whether he stays, he does. I think there is a deal made to keep him, not a max contract, but a good one. Maybe they front load it or back load it. I don't know. Maybe they get creative with the next contract where it makes sense. There's all kinds of different ways the Raptors could do this where it would make sense and the puzzle pieces will fit better for flexibility and the possibility of winning and being able to move stuff just in case they want to move in another direction. So listen, once he signs with us, which he will be better trade asset also at that time, but it may not be that we want to trade him. We'll have to see. In some ways, it may be in his interest to take a good deal that's kind of cheap. He's already getting paid a whole lot of money on the contract he's on right now. He's made a lot of money already. And if he really wants to stay in Toronto, it may be in his interest to go a little bit cheaper than what he can possibly make as a max, just to be a part of the puzzle here that fits in the puzzle pieces better. I mean, seriously, Siakam, how much money is too much? And I don't know if any of these guys are really in the position where they're like, you know what? I know Chris was like this. He could have got paid way more money. He took less to stay in Toronto. Siakam could be like that. He could be like that. He said, I value being here. I really love being here. I want to be here. I know y'all are kind of lowballing me a little bit, in my opinion. But in some ways, I don't know. In some ways, it may not even be Siakam that's upset. It may be his agency. And so he doesn't care about this shit. He just wants to play. And maybe his agent's being a little dick and putting all this bullshit out. And Siakam's kind of like, you know what? I don't care. I want to play for Masai. I want to play in Toronto and take just a little less money and I'll stay here. Y'all are getting all bent out of shape over a couple $1 million. I don't give a shit about it. I just want to play in Toronto. Just take that offer. But it's not in your interest. I won't make as much on my bonus from being your agent. It could be shit like that. And Siakam's not a money-oriented person that's so greedy like this. That's not what drives him in his life. He has more money than he ever thought he'd ever have in his life right now. In some ways, it may be, who knows who it is? I can speculate all kinds of crazy bullshit on top of things. And it may not any of it's any true, just as what I'm saying, just as much as those motherfuckers and what they're saying. None of it could be true too. So I'm just saying, the money's an issue. Well, we'll see what happens. Shir Khan saying, I believe the default mode for Siakam is extension rather than a trade, since he wants to be here. OG made it known he wants out, and he was messing with the chemistry. Siakam likes playing in Toronto. See? Shir Khan, very knowledgeable fan. Once again, we got some very strong, intelligent Raptors fans in here that can see through it and see exactly what's going on. I think that he's exactly right on this. Norma's saying, I think Draymond is out for conditioning. Okay, wait. Are they saying he's not going to play tonight? Let me go look at this, because this may be changed in the things. I don't know. They're going to play him. They're not going to hold him out because of conditioning, Norma. They'll play him. Watch. They'll play him. They want to get him back in as soon as possible. In fact, him getting taken off his suspension is suspicious. So he's ready. It's partly because Chris Paul got hurt. I'll bet you that Steve Kerr and the Warriors organization whined and cried to the NBA on the down low that we just lost our Hall of Famer point guard with a broken hand, and y'all are holding out our Hall of Famer dirty man. We need him back. And maybe they twisted their arm a little bit, and the NBA office was like, all right, we'll take Draymond off this bullshit right now. I don't know. It could be like that. The Chris Paul injury may have something to do with it. Jillian saying, you mean anger management? He's out for anger management. Well, he was, but he's back. He's going to play tonight. He's not going to be out tonight. Watch. Mischief saying, looks like Gary Trent Jr. is questionable for today's game with a quad injury. Hopefully Gary and Jonte Porter playing today. We need all the personnel for this road trip. I'd like to see Gary play. We'll have to see. Mischief's got the team lineup out there. I love it. There's all the good faces of the Raptors. And Fun Guy saying, I like Jonte a lot. I think he can take us to new heights. Yeah, he hits those threes. That's just added gravy on top. A lot of the other stuff is fantastic. That's the more stuff that's important, the basic stuff. Most saying, Jillian, no more back and forth. Not to sound mean, yeah, she's a mod, and in some ways she's right. You're adding a lot of other people, and I did ask you the other day not to do that. It's fine. You guys can have little discussions, but in some ways, I'm not going to read the ats anymore because, especially if they've taken me too long in the day. Nako's saying, unless you're getting good value, Masai isn't going to do a trade. That's true for Pascal. That's true for OG, and I'm pretty sure that's true for Fred. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. We'll just have to go forward. Wayne's saying, open your eyes, freaks. Every coveted Raptor has gone on to receive good contracts. We develop, create value, and sell appropriately. Pascal is in a good spot. We know nothing. Josh is fishing. There you go. Wayne Strainer, a good voice of reason. He put it into other words that I didn't, that make complete sense. Complete sense. We get these guys paid. Norman Powell, Fred, Kyle. These guys get paid, and they're going to get paid by somebody. In some ways, it's special when we pay them, and they stay here. And Siakam, we're trying to do that. We're going to try and figure it out. Fun guy saying, any trade beats potentially Siakam leaving us for a payday. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You want to do it, just not have anything happen like Fred last year. Duke's saying, hopefully you'll have been voting for Siakam, Barnes, RJ, Schroeder, and quickly and submit. Vote only Raps. There you go. A good reminder to go put your all-star votes in and vote for G League all-star too. Fun guy saying, I'll even take a player in picks at this point. Well, we'll have to see. Pally Poppy saying, Lex, that pronunciation was molto bene. Molto bene. Very good. At this point, you're half a paisano. I love it. I love it. I've always kind of had this esteem for this. I have always wanted to be part Italian. And I appreciate this. I appreciate this acceptance. Let's see. Jill's saying, whoa, what? She's just saying that I asked you not to at people and have discussions between people in the conversation here. You got to understand every comment I'm reading. And when you're having conversations with Space Cadet and different people and you're adding Nako and stuff, that's not what I want y'all to do. I want you to talk to me. I don't want you to talk to the other people in the chat. You want to talk to the other people in the chat? Go make a chat box somewhere else. Because it's not, I'm being very self-centered. Let's just put it that way, Jill. I'm being self-centered. I want you to talk to me. I don't want you to talk to Nako. I don't want to talk. You can put in your comments that are adding to the conversation, but when you put that ad in there, like you're talking directly to somebody else in the chat, usually your comment is not conducive to the chat and the stream and my content and talking. That's why Mo's asking you. She's just doing what I asked her. I asked you to do. She's reinforcing right now. She's kind of like one of my mods, so she's in charge here. So that's the whole reason right there. Cool Cat saying, Lex, Masai does not talk about players that are in the midst of contracts. Yeah, he doesn't say anything. That's why I don't trust anybody who's talking anything about Siakam and his contract extension negotiations. I don't trust any of the information because I know our front office ain't talking about it. Well, if Siakam's camp is talking about it and that's their side of things, well, I would just say this. Y'all have a phone too. Y'all have a phone too. That's what you say. You know what? You really want to figure out things with the contract with us? We'll call them and start talking to them. You know, if you don't like what they're saying, well, that's just negotiations are not going well and they're stalled out. That's all. And that's normal in the NBA. That's normal. And that's not bad intentions. It's not bad feelings. It's just business. That's just how it is. Nako's saying, I think the money's close, but if you could sign everyone without hitting the max, Jimmy and Bam have a 10-year gap between them. Nobody's saying they're a bad duo. Yeah, we're not even bringing that up, that stupid malarkey where people say they're not on the same timeline. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The Siakam can't be around Barnes because they're not on the same timeline. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Mo's saying writing back and forward, we'll have Lex here for days. That's what she means. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. And Jill's saying, Mo, I'm just one person. There are 54 people in this room, and you're picking me. Well, you're doing the thing that I've asked not to do. Nobody else is doing it. If you really pay attention, most people are not talking directly. Like every single one of your comments is at Mo, at Mugarbe. You're talking to everybody else. I don't mind you not talking to me, but this is what the show is talk to Lex, talk about Raptors. And if you're talking with the other people and you guys are having your side conversations, I asked the other day because I read non sequitur comments because y'all are answering each other's questions. And it's not something that just understand. This has been a rule on this channel for a long time. Mike used to do this all the time, and it was annoying. And we told Logical Raptors Fanatic to stop talking so much with other people and having little side discussions during my conversations on the stream. That's all she's asking. It's a rule of the stream that's been here for a long time, way long time. And that's all she's asking. She's being a very good administrator and mod for me. I appreciate you, Mo. I really do. Mugabe saying, Lex, I will just listen and I will not say a word because you get so mad when someone talks about the front office. Like they can do no wrong for you. Mugabe, with all respect, I love you, Brand. I love you so much. And listen, this is great. Is we would just agree to disagree. I want you to have your own personal beliefs. I'm not this person that's trying to say everybody should just believe what I believe. I'm just trying to have a counterpoint. And once again, yes, I do blindly follow the front office. It's like the song I sang the other day. It's just Mo, myself, and Masai. That's right. The three of us, we're a trio. Mo, myself, and Masai, and that we're unbreakable. You can't break the trio of Mo, myself, and Masai. That we're just undeniably loyal to each other, all three of us. Monique is completely loyal to Masai. I'm completely loyal to Masai, and Masai and what he does for our team is loyal to us Raptors fans. Because listen, the man said no to the U.S. He said, fuck you, United States. I'm not coming down there. You're going to try and throw even more money at me. You're going to try and dislodge me from my Canadian home in the country that I love, that gave me the chance to do what I'm doing up here. Nah, he didn't sell us out. That's another thing I will continue to say, that Masai Ujiri had a lot of opportunities to leave us, go to the States, run one of those teams down there, get paid more. And they wanted him to do that. And they asked him to do that. They tried to force him to do that. And he was a rebel. And he said, no, fuck y'all. I love Toronto. I'm staying in Toronto. I know y'all want my winning ways on the Wizards. I know y'all want my winning ways in New York, but I'm not coming. And in some ways, that loyalty to us needs to be loyal back to him from us. Do you understand that? That's a part of it that people don't realize, is that he has been the most coveted GM front office person in the NBA for 10 years now. And he never sold us out. He's still here in Toronto with us. He could have cut and run. He could have done a Nick Nurse. But no, he didn't. He's here. So forgive me for having blind loyalty to a guy who's shown that he is completely loyal to us in this city. I mean, seriously. Does that make sense what I just said right there? Mugabe, all due respect, I love you, man. You are a Canadian success story, and I love Mugabe Lennon of Alberta. He's my dude. I love him, man. I love him. I love him. Let's see. Fun guy saying, yep, that's what he means. Okay, yep. And I'm glad y'all are explaining it to her. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time going over just the basic rules of the channel in some ways. All right, I love this. We're getting somewhere here. We're getting somewhere. All right, hang on. And I want to make sure we're very respectful to Mugabe, seriously, because we don't have to all agree. We really, really do not. That's very important. It's very, very, very important. Okay. Let's see. G saying Embiid and Maxey, Bam and Butler, KD and Booker, Fred and Sengun are even 29 and 21. Why are we the only ones talked about age like this? It's just another trope that people use to make up bullshit. It's basically what it is. They don't, the rules don't apply to all teams. It's just for specific cases where it's helpful for people with their agendas is basically what it is. G. Yeah, that's what it is. It's you're talking to fun guys. See, Wayne's saying Lex is reacting to nonsense. Your argument is based on somebody's view. It's not factual. Don't get sensitive when we dismiss nonsense. It's all good. Listen, I'm glad that we brought this Pascal stuff up because this is a good role model channel to talk about this in a way where it kind of looks at it all sides. Now, some people just blatantly dismiss whatever I'm saying right here, but I've said a lot in here to stand up for our front office today that is very factual. It's not hearsay. This is just the truth. What I just said about Masai is he is loyal to us. He could have left a long time ago. Phil Jackson was supposed to be paired up with him in the New York Knicks organization like 8 years ago. And he did not go. He did not go. He stayed. And he won a championship with us. He was successful. That's what I'm saying. That's all it is right there. Drink water. Thank you. And I'm 40 minutes behind. Vote for Scotty. I like it, Jillian. I like it. Mo's not trying to be mean. She's just trying to be a good mod, and she's a fantastic mod. I don't have a lot of mods, and these mods have been doing this for me for a while. Tom Duke, G, Seymour Pape, Monique. These are my mods, and they really do kind of hold it down for me. They're everydays. Yeah. It really is because you were doing the at. And now Wayne's kind of doing it. I mean, Fun Guy's doing it here. Wayne, the percentage of factual things are astronomically low. Most discussions are opinions and perceptions. We aren't in these situations, so none of the fan interactions are facts anyways. Boom goes the dynamite. How do we know what is even real? Let's get into a whole like higher level of like thought and consciousness. What is real? what is real? Am I real? You can see me on the screen right now, and you've seen me in real life, some of you, but maybe I'm not real. It's like, what is real? We can get real philosophical on this. Real philosophical. Denal saying, "Hey Lex, I think it's okay for people to go back and forth, but have them only do it if they at the person or type I'm a fun guy. That way, you know it's a comment and you can skip it over." Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be like this, I mean, people are gonna come in and naturally do it no matter what. It's not just Jill, and she shouldn't be completely singled out. But you know what? Maybe I will have to train myself on this. As the channel changes, and maybe there'll be more traffic. I need to, figure out how to keep my content time down. And I asked in partnership with you guys that we do it in a way where we keep the comments like kind of like focused and not really in all kinds of weird ways. You really got to think about when you write something in my chat box, what is this going to be a good comment to be said on the show? Like, is this something that is like adding, or is this just like a distraction or just unnecessary chit chat between two people? That's what you have to think about. That's what I'm asking. Summer Lowe saying, laugh out loud. That might be the last shot for Flynn in the NBA. Summer Lowe predicting, Summer, are you still in Hong Kong? Holding down in Asia. Summer Lowe, a Raptor Freak, longtime watcher and a viewer of our channel. That is funny in some ways and sad at the same time. Eric Flynn's so happy he gets salvation going to New York, but maybe he just gets in for 1 minute, misses one shot, and they waive him. Wouldn't that be really crazy and funny? And Summer may be right. We'll have to see. Fun guy saying, "Man, I don't know about you guys, but boy, was it cold yesterday. It was a lot of snow. A lot of snow came down in the last 24 hours in Toronto. We got a nice little cover, about 4 or 5 inches out there right now. It's nice. I like it. It's pretty. I didn't try and get outside in it too much though." Wayne saying, your previous post is referring to Mugabe, not Lex. Sorry, badly written. Again, Josh doesn't comment on positive things like quickly giving praise to Raptors front office. It's not negative. Yeah, they could write a whole story about Emmanuel Quickly and how he feels about how he's been welcomed to the Toronto Raptors and how great Masai has made him feel comfortable. Yeah, they don't write those nice pieces. They want us to be agitated and upset. They want us to be worried. And in some ways, it's up to us whether we want to be all in consternation just because Josh Lewinberg or this person's writing this or that. That's the press's model now. An engaged public is an angry public, is an unsatisfied public, is a disrupted public. A public is happy and content is not going to buy magazines. They want you to be upset. So they intentionally make you upset. It's a really fucked up media gaslighting is what this is. Fun guy saying Precious should be in China. Man, y'all stop dissing my guy Achua. I love that guy. Come on now. Nako's saying, also in fairness to Grady, we've been spoiled for how well Scotty's developed. When he was supposed to be a project, I've seen smart decisions on both sides of the floor. You know, you can't really compare Scott to Grady in some ways. And Scotty is like, man, he's actually growing way faster than I thought he would this year. It's been fantastic. It's a great development, literally both ways. Summer saying, I don't think the 905 is helping Grady at all. A whole bunch of ball hogs there. No one ever passes to him. Yeah, it seemed like that last night. A lot of people in our comments in the 905 game on YouTube last night were saying they don't pass it to Grady. What is this? Well, I will say this. Everybody who thinks that 905 is a waste of time for him, it is not. It's really, really good because it's an intermediary level of pro play that gets him more closer to getting to the NBA speed in a safer place. And even if he doesn't take a whole lot of shots, even if it looks like he's just running cardio, he's practicing, he's repping all kinds of different things, whether it's the system of Darko, whether it's just repping the NBA life and like the court dimensions, it's all good. It doesn't matter if he's not getting shots. It doesn't matter if he's not making shots. It doesn't matter if those guys freeze him out. Every single minute of G League action for Grady is good for him. I would say that. Even if it's a failure down there, it's all part of his development and learning, and it's all worthwhile. Let's just put it that way. Denal saying, Lex, any thoughts on why we haven't seen Javon let, but Jonte? Does that mean Koloko isn't close to coming back as thought, so Jonte is the backup? Mel is blocked. I can't see him either. Yeah, it's cool. I can see him. He'll be my imaginary Nick friend, and y'all don't have to see him. Well, it's obviously because of positional needs. You know, Precious got traded to New York, so we need a backup center. We don't really want to make Thad that, and we don't want Scotty to be a full-time backup center. So Jonte got called up, and it's really that. It's not that Jonte or Javon is better than each other, although Jonte is better than Javon. I will say that. It's just really the needs of the big club right now is very much needs Jonte. And it does have to do with Koloko. It does have to do with Achua, his departure. And that's the only reason, really. That's the main reason. Jonte's lucky. He got caught a lucky break. They may have calculated this. They may have been like, well, we can throw Achua in the New York deal because we can just call up Jonte and he can be our backup center going forward if he works out. So I could see that. Yeah, I really hope that Koloko comes back soon. Mugabe's saying, I am not a sensitive person. To get where he's gotten in his life, he couldn't have been. I know that. I know that for sure. Mugabe, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. And once again, I'm not mad at anybody. When we disagree, it's really just like I want to allow a space for people to disagree and be fine with each other. And I love it. I love it. Mugabe and I have a respect for each other. I respect Mugabe a lot. I really, really do. Fun guy saying Draymond only picks on European or light-skinned players. Laugh out loud. Beef stew manhandling him, and he couldn't even make eye contact. Fake bully. Try that with Zach Randolph, boy. Okay, fun guy. That's a funny comment in some ways. I don't know if he's like profiling people, and that's why he's doing it. I don't know. He did like he's messed with people that are all skin colors. I don't think that that's actually true. Mugabe's saying, Lex, I understand that you don't hate the front office, but they can make mistakes. And is Pascal here or not? I'm a Raptors fan, not a Pascal fan. See, I love he's delineating things here right now. They can make mistakes, but once again, I feel like there's people that really want to point out all their mistakes and overlook their achievements. So that's part of the reason why I'm the way I am. I'll admit when they make mistakes. I'm wondering about Grady. I will admit that Malachi was a mistake. That was a mistake. But listen, their batting percentage for how often they're right over how often they're wrong is way better than how often they're wrong. They get it more right every single transaction they do than the ones they don't. Forgive them for not being absolutely perfect. I mean, if they had some sort of stat calibration to grade all of the GMs in the whole entire league, and we could see whether moves were successful or not, I'll bet you their percentage is one of the highest in the league as far as successful transactions and moves that just were smart. There's going to be a lot of teams that have really bad moves all kinds of different ways. And the Raptors have a really good success percentage out of all the things they do. So it's true. They do make mistakes. And I will admit, Malachi was one of them. He was one of them. And I appreciate you saying you're a team first player, but you care a lot about Pascal. I can get behind that. Look, I want what's best for Pascal too, but I want what's best for the Raptors first. Okay, so Jillian's doing it here. You're saying Grady was supposed to be like Scotty? Like, yeah, she's asking Nako specifically a question about what he said, and you're asking him to clarify. So that's the behavior we don't want you to do anymore, Joe. That's what we don't. If you want to say it something like this, like say, was Grady supposed to be like Scotty? And then I'll elaborate on it or something like that. I don't know. In some ways, it's like it's semantics. It's just try and figure out a way to kind of keep things centered on topics and not asking questions or other people to clarify things. That's not usually good comment. Let's see. He's saying, I remember Flynn putting up some real good numbers when he was a rookie in the G League and he got a rookie second team. That's a long time ago. And he's the same player that he was that year right now, Nako. He really is. He may be bulked up a little bit more. He may be more savvy and veteran and know how, but the production isn't any different. He's exactly the same player he was producing wise as he was as a rookie in his fourth year in the league. His fourth year. Jill's saying, ooh, Flynn was in the G League already. Very barely, hardly at all. Yeah, he was barely in there. I think he's played like 3 G League games his whole entire career, y'all. So it's not like he was down there for long. Yeah, you mean Tampa. Yeah, he was in the bubble. He's in the bubble. All right, I'm at 10 minutes to noon. I got to finish this up. Mugabe's saying, laugh out loud. So Lex's question, so if they trade Scotty, is that the right thing to do or bad? Just asking you. I don't know. I'd have to trust them. They know more about Scotty on the inside than I do. I've speculated certain things about Scotty in the last month that if they did trade him, I would be shocked. Yeah, but I wouldn't be like, there's a reason. There's a reason why they did it. And I would trust the reason. Even though it would be like, why did you do that? That doesn't make any sense, but maybe they have a really good reason for it. I don't think it'll ever happen, though. I don't think it'll happen. But yeah, I would be like, I'd question it. I'd be kind of like, why did you do this? But I'd be like, there's probably some sort of reason that I don't know. And I just got to go like that. Some are saying, no, Nako's right. He was in G League all rookie second team. Yeah, all rookie second team and in the G League because he got played a lot in Tampa. because we had everybody hurt and out from COVID. So in some ways, he was like a backup point guard. He was the second point guard behind Lowry and Fred, starting. And then also, he got to start a lot because those guys were hurt a lot. So his stats were really good in his rookie season. In fact, that may be his best professional season as an NBA player was his rookie year, Malachi Flynn. Jillian saying, not trading Scotty. See, once again, that's a comment that I don't need to read. That's something I don't need to read. Not trading Scotty. I don't get that. Let's see. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Bam, 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 bam. Kevin saying, Lex, other than the Raptors, what's your second favorite team? This is an interesting question. Well, my second favorite team is the Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs are my Western Conference team. I root for them primarily. I'm very happy about Victor being on that team. So it's the Spurs. I have a Spurs starter jacket hanging over there behind me. And I was a Spurs fan in the 80s before they won any of their championships. So I've been very happy seeing the Spurs under Popovich win a lot of championships. I was very happy with Tim Duncan. I was a fan when they had David Robinson, way before they had Tim Duncan. Other teams that I've been a fan of before this was the Pistons. I was a big fan of the Detroit Pistons in the 80s with the Bad Boys, and then the Magic. I was a Magic fan in the early 90s before the Raptors came around. That was my team because I watched them on TV. And they were the expansion Magic, and they were new in Florida, and they were on TV a lot. So those are my four teams that have historically been my favorite teams. Raptors by far, number one. Spurs second. Probably Detroit Bad Boys, Pistons third, and then Orlando Magic fourth. And, I had affinities for different teams at different times. Like I liked the Lakers with Magic. I did actually really like the Celtics in the 80s when they had Larry Bird and Kevin McHale in them. I'm also a fan of the Knicks in the 90s with Patrick Ewing and all that kind of stuff. So there's different eras of different teams that I really enjoyed, that I like too, that aren't necessarily teams that I totally root for at this point. Cowboy saying the Spurs. It's the Spurs. That's right. Cowboy knows. Nako's saying fun guy. Nah, I was talking about the G League. He's done good when he's there. All right. See, he's doing it too, and it's no good. That's not a good comment for me. That's not a good comment, Gerald. And Mugabe's doing it now too. Y'all are all doing it now that I told y'all not to do it. I know we are not trading Scotty. Scotty is the future, and we are building around him. I was just saying that to Lex, the front office can do no wrong. Well, I would question it. Just like DeMar's trade. And I'd be like, why did they do this? And I may be like, what the hell? But then eventually I may come around and I'll be like, I trust them. I understand why now. Yeah. Jillian's saying, if you trust someone, you don't believe the gossip. There you go. I like that. I'm going to give Jill a dunk for that because that's a very simple comment. She's getting her 5th dunk of the year. And yeah, that's a simple comment. You trust someone, you don't believe gossip. People trash talk people all over the place in your social circles. And if it's your friend and you really know them, you trust that your friend is who they are and not what the idiots are saying about them. This is a very good example of this. Very, very good example. Kareem saying Siakam will be the greatest Raptor of all time. Book it. Pascal will sign Raptor for life contract and pay him $10 million a year until he turns 95. Do a Bobby Bonilla. I don't care. Do a Bobby Bonilla to that man. I don't care about this. Hey, if they can work this out, do some crazy Otani shit and backload shit. Pay him $1 million next year and pay him $10 million for the rest of his life. I don't care. Figure it out, Bobby and Masai. If you can do that kind of convoluted MLB fucking fucked up Otani contract with Siakam, I'm all about it. Bobby Bonilla is his ass, is what I'm saying. Bobby Bonilla is ass. People know that reference. Let's see. Nako's saying, I think Scotty had a ready body when he was a rookie. He did. That's a big difference right there. Scotty was NBA ready when he came in from his body. And that's part of why I scouted Grady the way I did. I looked at his body, see, he's not NBA ready body. That's what I said. That was one of the very specific things I said about Grady. Is like, he's not fast enough and his body's not ready for the NBA. He's not strong enough. And I was exactly right. I scouted it. I go look at Keontae George. I say, that guy's strong enough. He's NBA ready. And boom, he comes out. He's dropping 20 in a game already. That's the difference. That's why when I look at stuff in the draft preparation, I'm really kind of thinking, is this guy NBA ready as far as does his body look ready? And I looked at Grady and it's like, he's not NBA ready. And I was right. And that's unfortunate. I hate that. That's a very good distinction that Gerald's brought up. Scotty had an NBA body already coming into the NBA, and that's it. He thinks that Grady looks like he has good fluid movements, but his speed and strength could be better. Exactly. And Cowboys laughing at Kareem. I like that. We could do that. Bobby Bonilla's ass. Yeah. Grady is more fluid. He will be more and more fluid as he goes, Jill. And Kareem saying, personally, I trust Siakam in terms of loyalty over Barnes. Yeah.
In some ways, I worry about this. In some ways, part of me watching him on Twitch was to know, is this guy going to be like a Vince Carter? Is this guy going to be like a Chris Bosh? In some ways, these high draft pick for the Raptors that come from the ACC, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Florida State, I wonder if he would go the same way. But in some ways, I'm seeing all the signs that Scotty is a very loyal person. And that I'm changing my opinion on this. In the beginning, I was a little worried about this, very worried about this. I knew that people would covet him down the road, and they are. They're going to come after him down the road. At different stages in his career, when he's off his rookie contract, there will be way more speculation, just like there's been with Anunoby and Siakam in the recent years about Barnes. And it's going to be annoying. It's going to be super annoying. And that's why I'm already saying, when does this end? When do we get to just chill and watch basketball? Why do we have to just keep going into these next cycles? This person's contract's coming up and we have to over stress and worry about this shit. That's why I want to tune all these assholes out. It's unnecessary. Let's just watch the games. Let's just be fans. Let's just enjoy watching. In some ways, we're too overcritical. We're watching it too closely and getting too involved in other people's jobs that are doing the jobs. And we should just be fans. Our job is to take in the games, enjoy them, and to be entertained. That's all our job is. Our job is not to do the GMing. Our job is not to be the coach. Our job is not to figure out the Pascal Siakam contract extension situation. So why don't we just stay in the dark and just go to the games and watch the team and whether they win or not and whether they make shots and things like that, instead of getting all bent out of shape over all this stuff, because this is never going to end. They can perpetually do this to us for the rest of our lives. And it's up to our choices whether we want to get involved in all that malarkey and get bogged down with it and talking about it over and over again every single time with this player, this player, this player as they come through. It's going to just keep happening. So it's our choice whether we want to avoid that kind of media or not. We can avoid that kind of media. It's our choice. We don't have to go and listen to trade rumors and the speculation and all that bullshit. Cut it out. Get your news sources, the people that you trust, like Woj. A Woj bomb is pretty trustworthy, and fucking leave it to that. And all the speculated bullcrap doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be anything. That's right. Let's get that W tonight, Cowboy. I hear you. Space Cadet saying Nick was overplaying his starters because he had no bench. That is part of it. That's part of it. There were a couple of reasons why on the Venn diagram. Most saying, I'm taking a break from commenting. Certain people think I'm attacking them. W stream, Lex. Keep it as always. Good times. Good times. Go Raptors. Let's keep climbing. You did nothing wrong, Monique. You're an amazing mod for my channel, and I appreciate you in every kind of way. You know what? I wish you would comment more because you have very intelligent comments to make, and I appreciate you so much. She's not attacking anyone. She's doing things under the direction of things that I've asked for the mods to do. And this is something that I asked them to do like a year ago. This isn't something new. Let's see. Mugabe is saying business is business, but you want a player to take a payout from a multi-billion-dollar company. Make that make sense. Well, it makes sense if it's going to lead us to another Larry O'Brien. In some ways, there's a pie, and there's only a certain amount of pieces of the pie. And you're going to have to cut each piece in a certain size for each of the individuals on the team. And in some ways, I'd like to give Siakam the right piece of pie that's fair to him in payment, but it's not going to hinder our ability to give the piece of the pie to Scott, the piece of the pie to RJ, the piece of the pie to IQ, the piece of the pie that's already there for Jakob. You know, that's what I'm talking about here. In some ways, if you're a team guy like Tim Duncan, he took his contracts on a lower payment just because he wanted to win more. And look, he won 5 championships with the Spurs. So it's really, what is Siakam's goals here? Is it to get paid as much as possible, like Fred this past summer? Or does he want to stick around and stay in Toronto and win and have a good team around him? He's got to take a smaller piece of the pie. And that's basically what it is. Now, we can get into the whole thing about the owners versus the players. Yeah, I'm on the players' side. I am. If it's any kind of contract labor dispute between owners and players, I'm always on the players' side because they're the union. They're the workers. And those greedy ass owners that are making the money off of them, that's not what this situation is. That's not what this situation is. Let's see. Jill's give me the 11:30, and I'm over 12 already, so I'm a half hour behind. Fun guy saying certain people. Yeah, it's all good. I love Jillian and I love Mo, and they both. Everybody can coexist here. We just need people to kind of get with the program. I think that's what the word is. We got to get with the program. It's a program. And we want to make it so it's enjoyable for people to come and watch this later. We don't want to see me arguing with people about how they're commenting. We don't want to have like holdups because people are not getting the rules of the stream. And that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Let's see. Wayne's saying, apart from the Splash Brothers, who's the 3-point threats? The Warriors, our Achilles heel is defending the 3-point shooters. Dario Saric, right there. Saric is a big one, and the new rookie is really dangerous also. Brandon Podziemski. Yeah, and then, people like Corey Joseph or Andrew Wiggins can find a little bit of fire all of a sudden at times too. But the really dangerous ones, other than the Splash Brothers, of course, are Saric and Podziemski. Those are the two guys we really need to watch out for today. Space Cadet saying, and people claimed he just didn't want to develop them. Well, we just traded like a third of them to New York as trade throw-ins. Even Masai knew our bench was bad. Yeah, I won't disagree with any of that. Cowboys saying, let's go, Raptors and Raptor Freaks. And Fun Guy saying, it's just a lack of synergy, y'all. Relax. It was misunderstanding. That's right. No problems here. Cool Cat, see, now she's the one in this whole topic today. She really has to keep herself in a certain way emotionally detached from this in certain ways because she wants to see things with her eyes wide open. She's saying, I try very hard to keep my opinions about my favorite player, Pascal, and just enjoy the sport that I love. Too much drama in my city. See, in some ways, Cool Cat and I are not totally on the same page with Siakam, but we are because we just want to enjoy basketball. We love Siakam. We want what's best for him. But in some ways, like I may have said some things today about the whole Siakam thing that she maybe didn't totally like. Oh, the power just went out. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to talk to you guys for very much longer because that's interesting. Oh, that burned out. That's the light just went out. We're fine. You know what? I'm gonna turn this one on. There. All right, now I'm not in the dark. So my light burnt. It's not plugged in. The battery ran out. Okay, let's keep going. Lex, I can go. I don't want you to go. I want you to stay. I just want you to just maybe like not do so much like cross conversating. I think that's the right word. Let's see. Fun Guy saying, if I think you're wrong and toxic, I'm going to come at you. And Fun Guy saying, I attack people on here all the time, even Lex sometimes. Yeah, he does. I'm used to it. It's all right. Cowboys saying, where are you going to go? And Jillian saying, there were 57 people in here at the time, yet I was picked. I'm leaving. Bye. You don't have to leave, Jill. It's just that in some ways, Mo is doing her job as a mod, and there was nothing wrong with what she did. It's just that you were doing it. That you're the one who's doing it the most, and people have called. I said something about it in the last couple of days, and I don't think you understood what I was saying. That's all. We don't want you to leave. Seriously, you are appreciated. It's all good. Fun Guy saying, Lex hasn't even gotten to these comments yet. Yeah, relax, Jillian. Don't leave. We don't want you to leave. And if you come back and watch this, you're going to see everybody saying this. We don't want you to leave because honestly, this isn't worth leaving over. And I don't want to make you feel singled out or anything. Fun Guy saying, you be like an hour early. I'm reacting, Jillian. Laugh out loud. Lex is way up still. Jill, have a safe and great day is what he's saying. And everyone smash the like button. Thank you, Cowboy. Wayne saying Brad Fay and those jokers pushed that storyline for months that Masai was leaving. How many conversations were had on that? Yeah, how wrong were they? Grange wrote that piece about Masai's going to Washington. He was completely wrong. Did they circle back and do any of the like cross making up for the damage they were doing at that time? No, they didn't. They just do what they do, and they don't have any repercussions. They make up lies and bullshit all the time. Cowboys got Masai on blast. I love it. Storytelling and nonsense. That's right. Later, Raptors and Freaks. Bam. All right, Cowboy. Enjoy the win tonight. Wayne saying, ladies, please just chill. We're the freaks, and we're freaky in behavior at times. Don't take it too personal. Mel Bester excluded. Since when was I in the equator imaginary line? Since when was I the equator imaginary line? I don't know what that's in reference to. No, Milbester, some people banned you from this channel. I don't even know if you were aware of this. I unbanned you. I superseded it because I do really enjoy and value you. But some people were getting annoyed with you because you were talking too much about the Knicks and that you were crossing the line on that. Let's see. Go Raps, destroy Golden State. Mischief saying, I said we should draft 19-year-old, 6'8", 218-pound Serbian monster named Nikola Juric. Yeah, that would have been interesting with Darko. I went and looked at him. I didn't like him, though. I remember when you brought that up, Mischief. You made me go look up that guy. And I watched him, and I was kind of like, he seems slow. All right. And Trevor saying, I hope everyone has a better afternoon. It's a good day to enjoy. Stop pulling your hair out, people. That's right. Once again, this is not so serious in some ways. A lot of the things that we're saying, like what Mo said and what I said, was not so serious that you need to leave, Jill. It's not. We're just kindly asking. That's all. Slug DZ saying, Masai hasn't done us wrong yet. Even if the trade didn't fully work out for us, in example, Gary, You can still see the logic behind it. I trust him aside. There you go. I love it, Slug Deezy. I love it. We're going to give you a dunk, man. Coming in and just putting a little cherry on top at the end of the stream today with the right attitude. Slug Deezy doesn't even have a dunk yet, ever. We're going to write him into the dunk list for the first time. Slug Deezy. Slug Deezy. That's right. Bam. Getting a Messiah and Trust dunk. I love it. All right, let's see what Cool Cat said. Our fan base are getting caught up in social media drama and not voting for Pascal and Scotty. Focus on the picture. That's right. Vote for All-Star. Watch the basketball. That's what we're talking about. All right, let's do the wrap-up. I'm over 7 minutes. Let's just finish it up real quick. Golden State's injuries are Kuminga is questionable with his toe. Chris Paul has suffered a left hand fracture, and he is done. He's not going to be around for today for sure. Gary Payton II is also out. Draymond Green is returning today, so he will be available for the Warriors. On the Raptors side of things, Koloko is out. Porter Jr. is out. That's Otto, not Jonte. And Gary Trent Jr. is listed as questionable with his quad bruise. So we'll have to see. The refs today are Zach Zarba, Sean Corbin, and Matt Boland. And all three of them favor the Warriors statistically throughout time, but who knows? We could do a really good job today. Unfortunately, the Raptors 905 lost a close game to the College Park Skyhawks. It was stupid. They were winning the whole game. They choked. Choke artist, Eric Curry, what are you doing? My 3 stars of the game were Justice Winslow, Javon Freeman Liberty, and Kevin O'Banner. Yeah, just disappointing. All right, y'all. If anything we learned today, there's a lot of bullshit out there. And in some ways, let's just be fans. That's what I'm saying. We don't want to over evaluate or over perceive. And, whatever's happening with Siakam is what is happening. We can't control it. Hopefully we'll all work out in the right way where it works out for our team, it works out for Siakam, and it works out for our fans. I trust in Messiah. I really do. And some people may say blindly and foolishly, but Slug Deezy is right. Most of the Raptors fans that are in the know, that man is loyal to our team. He's still here in Toronto with us, and he's not going anywhere. That's the thing. If he loses his job in Toronto, it's not like he's going to go take a job in the States. He'll go back to Africa and he'll run things over there in certain ways, or he'll do something else here in Canada. Watch, I could see that. And maybe he'll even be a politician. I've even said this: the Masai Ujiri maybe should be the Prime Minister of Canada. He'd do a really damn good job. I'll bet you he would. He would. Fun guy saying, I went to shovel my driveway and you're all caught up. Nice, Lex. Yeah, just took that. And Race Most Daily saying, let's go. Love you, Edmund. And Pally Poppy saying, Otto has been a bust, man. What a joke. I don't see it that way. Come on, man. Let's be positive. Pally Poppy. Buongiorno and arrivederci. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and join if you feel like it too. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Let's go Raptors. Beat the Warriors tonight. The main event marquee matchup is let's beat Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Pascal Siakam. Let's go Raptors.